Big up, guys. Big up, guys. Yes, welcome to the stream, and you're not seeing things. I am actually early for a change. On time, you could say, for a stream. Yeah, I can do it. See, it is possible. To mark this down as another good thing that I'm actually here early, on time. And, just shows what can happen. I can't promise I'll keep doing this, but hopefully, you never know. But yeah, I'm here obviously with a buzz to talk about England. I've been wanting to for a few days, to be honest, since I saw that shit show last Friday as well. England versus the thugs, as I call them. I won't call them Uruguay because I just think of them mainly as thugs. We all know what they're like. They've been like it for years. They're more interested than in hacking players down and doing bad fouls and cynical stuff and whatever else, rather than playing football. Sometimes it's just in South American terms, they were the equivalent of the old Leeds United, I would say. Although saying that, Leeds United could still play football and still, play some good football at times. But yeah, they knew they could dig in, couldn't they? Could dig in with a tackle, Leeds. These lot are the same. I still don't think they're the greatest of teams in the world. When they did have some quality players, I mean, whatever you said about Suarez, he was a wanker, an arsehole, whatever, but he's still a great player. For them, Forlan, I think, was a very good player. Rated him. I mean, there's some things. I mean, the Valverde is pretty good, but saying that, I'm still not sure how he won that award. That was it, Football of the Year or whatever. Over sort of like compared to like Messi and whatever. No, I didn't see that myself. I know is he Real Madrid, Valverde? I think he is. So, but he is quality in a way, and a great penalty he took, by the way, to be honest. It was never a penalty in the first place, really. But it was a great penalty. And, I'll read that in a minute, Steph. You're right with Cavani anyway. But yeah, they have had some good players, no doubt, but they're just like, I don't know, they're not interested in playing football at times. It's just thuggery, and it's not good. Why did England want to do this friendly in the first place? A friendly. I wouldn't call it a friendly. I don't think Uruguay ever played a friendly match in their lives. I just know what they were thinking doing this friendly. I just don't know. And plus, I'm going to give my thoughts before I do the go into the articles, talk about the match and so forth. I've also got a preview for the game today, later on, the England-Japan, which I may even be doing a watch-along for, guys, by the way. I might do a watch-along for it, depending. I'm thinking about it, maybe. Why not? Do a watch-along for it. It might be all right. I mean, it's going to be better than this game, let's be honest, than that Uruguay one was. It's got to be a little bit better, surely. A bit more attacking, bit more, probably better play, skill, passing. I mean, and Japan, of course, beat Scotland the other day. We know 1-0, so it's not going to be easy, of course. I mean, in a way, people say, well, friendlies, it's a friendly, so what? It don't matter. And then you can also look at it, though, it still breeds confidence if you win, if you do play well. England didn't play well against Uruguay. I mean, we know what Uruguay's tactics were, but you still got to break them down. You've got to get through that defence. If you're good enough, supposedly you got the best players from the Premier League, And I moan about Tommy Tickle because he still hasn't got the best players for me. He hasn't got the players that are on form. He ignored them again. went totally forgot the players that are on form and doing things and are brilliant. And at the moment, that's what you're supposed to get. You're supposed to put the players in that are on form for their clubs at the moment, and that's forgot about again totally. And that's why I don't want this guy as manager, Tommy Tickle. I keep saying it, and I will keep calling him Tommy Tickle. He's not Tuchel to me. He's Tommy Tickle, and he will be until I see anything, positive that's good that he'll do well. I'm not, going through those qualifiers. So what? Anyone could manage a England team in those games, them qualifiers. They were so fucking easy. We walked through them, you can sleepwalk through those and qualify. Anyone could have been manager there. Me, Steph, I am Titanium in the live chat here. Don't worry, I will read your comments out in a minute, guys. I haven't forgotten you all. But all of you, anyone else around the world, could have managed England through those qualifiers. Anyone, and would have easily qualified. And this guy, I mean, yes, he has done some good things. I mean, he got Chelsea, the Champions League, and other teams, clubs. I'm not saying he's a total failure as such, but I just don't think he's the man. I just don't see it. And, going for the same old, the Hendersons. Why? I mean, it's great for us, for Bees, yeah, but he's not an England international anymore. He's too old. I mean, we go about the age thing, 35, 36. Yeah, he's still doing all right for Brentford. But for country, no. And others, there are others. It's not just Henderson. There's others there that should never be playing. Should never have been picked yet again. And I'm going to go into the reasons why I thought this shouldn't have been. We shouldn't be playing. This is the wrong time of the year. Wrong time of the year to be playing. Of the season to be playing these friendlies, because we're still through a Premier League season, and it's the wrong time. These players are thinking of the running to the Premier. That's what they got in their back of their minds, or even the front of their minds, even that we've got run-ins. It's the Premier season is more important for them right now than international. Their country. I still don't think it means as much now to these players playing for their country as it used to. I think that's what I think, and it's more now the bread and butter of the Premier League and the league clubs. That's what they care more about now. And I think they earn their money as well. Let's be honest, they get all their money mainly from club football, and that's why I think at the moment a totally wrong time of this year to be doing it of the season. This should have been done probably after I'll say after the finish of the season. Let's say, what is it, August? Is it August? Well, no, saying that, no, sorry, it's May, isn't it? What am I talking about? May. Which is only or is it even April? I don't know, April, May. I know it finishes around that time, isn't it? So I think it's just a bit before the World Cup. So, yeah, you can still play these then. I mean, you've got to have some games leading up to the World Cup, I get it, to, get players sort of confidence and whatever else. But why play them now? Why play them, especially Uruguay? Why Uruguay are going to kick these players to bits? They showed that they were going to do that. And the thing with Foden, that tackle, that guy should have been sent off. That's a red card all day long. What happened with Foden there? That's terrible. And Foden didn't want it. He didn't want to do that. He was trying to pull out a bit anyway. You could see that. He knew what was coming. And he was trying to pull out of that, really. He didn't want to know. I mean, my thoughts on Foden anyway. I don't think he's good enough. He's proved he's not good enough. He's not been great for a long time. we know what ability he's got and what he's capable of, but he's not producing it. No way, and he's not doing it for Man City either at the moment. So how does he suddenly get into this England team? You know, how does he suddenly get into the England team? And this has shown that he's not good enough. His form has gone. I don't know what's happened with him. Maybe his mind's not on football. I don't know. I don't get it. Why he's not producing. I think it weren't so long ago he was named probably Player of the Year or whatever. I think was it Premier Player of the Year or whatever. I know he was awarded PFA Player of the Year. I think at one stage. And that you know how good he was. You know, he's great at one stage, but now he's not producing. So how does he get into the England squad? It still perplexes me how these do it. You know, you pick the players that are doing it or on form. You've got to do that. That is a fucking no-brainer. It's not rocket science. And I don't know though. Is it something? Are these managers being told you've got to play these players? Are they now? Have they got to be yes men to say when they come into the England job we've got to be a yes man and do what we're told from higher up above? You know, things like that. I just don't know. I don't know. It is strange. It's a puzzle. Why do we have to do that? I mean, I think in the past, yeah, mainly, players were kind of picked on how great they were and how well they were doing on form. I mean, you know, the players we used to have, the Shearers, Sheringham, Gaza, Adams, or whatever at the back, you know, the great defenders we used to have, the Campbell and Dixon or whatever else, or Seaman in goal and players like that. You know, go back, trying to think of all the other good ones as well. But you can go back years and you got, you know, Lineker, Beardsley, Barnes, all, you know, all the big players that were great and great at the time playing on, they were all mainly picked. You know, nobody was forgotten about. You know, when you go way back to like the 60s or whatever, you had all the great players playing for England, Hurst and Charlton, you know, Charlton brothers, obviously, the Adam Ball, Chivers, Chivers and various others, Cohen, Banks in goal, you know, you had Bobby Moore, you know, you had all the fucking top players, you know, playing. And now we're just getting the ones that are supposedly were supposed to be, you know, got all the talent, but not doing it. I mean, we know we've got so many to pick from. We know we have. But he's not picking the main ones at the moment. He's not picking the main ones. And think of all the ones he's forgot, the ones that, you know, Danny Welbeck. How is Danny Welbeck not in the England squad scoring all these goals still? And what is he, 36, is he now? I think he's 36 or something. Danny Welbeck. Why? How is he not in the, you know, fucking red hot scoring? And he can't make the England squad. It's fucking staggering, you know. Ivan Toney, I know, look, we're talking about Saudi Arabia, that's a fucking farmers league, I know, but he's scoring for fun over there. And he can't even get in the England squad either. There's so many other good players that we're forgetting that, you know, Tommy Tickle doesn't seem to want to think about and try out. I mean, it's so strange. And, you know, why now for friendlies as well? Why wasn't he why can't they been cut their teeth in an actual qualifier? In qualifiers, play them then when it counts. Because that's when you need to know when there's something on the line, when there's something to play for. You put these players in to see what they're capable of. In friendlies, it don't fucking matter. A friendly is nothing, is it? Let's be honest. This was supposed to be a test to find out who's got what it takes for England, the fringe players, right? And most of them didn't perform, let's be honest. And I don't think they cared. We knew it was a friendly. Well, a so-called friendly. Not Uruguay didn't think of it like that. And that referee was the worst fucking referee, absolute joke. I don't know where they got him from, but total embarrassment, absolute clown of a referee. He wouldn't be refereeing in a Sunday game at Hackney Marshes, in the Sunday League, the fucking amateur league, He was that bad. He was fucking terrible. But anyway, I better get through a lot of these comments because I've got quite a few here now. Big up to you, Steph. Thanks for coming in once again. I promise I won't sing this time, by the way. I've done that a bit yesterday, in the stream yesterday, a bit of singing. Steph got me going with that, in a way, with what she was saying on there. But yeah, thanks for coming in, my friend, again. Big up, Steve. Watching England is rarely a pleasant experience. Of course, definitely. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Spot on. 100%. It's not pleasant. It should be. We should be watching our best playing for England, our best players, and yeah, it doesn't work out that way. Ugly guy, yeah, exactly. Exactly. They're a bunch of kickers, bunch of hackers, Hackers, when you go through, you can go back to the days of like Wimbledon and all that ugly play, football tactics, kicking, anything, elbowing, any sort of physical thing to injure somebody, they'd do it. They don't give a shit. And that referee didn't give us any protection whatsoever. And, they were doing what they wanted. Uruguay could do whatever the fuck they wanted to do. They didn't give a shit. And that ref didn't, I had no clue. It seemed like he was on a training scheme. Learn on the job. Well, he didn't learn anything, did he? Because he couldn't learn. He was absolutely terrible. One of the worst referees I've seen for, a while. And we got a lot of terrible refs, let's be honest. Most of them are pretty shit, let's be honest. So, but this guy, I think he was German, wasn't he? Well, yeah. He was terrible. Absolutely terrible. You were saying, I was talking about the good players they had, Cavani was one. Was a very good player for Man United, of course. Your team, Steph, and obviously Bilal as well. Your team, but they've got no doubt. They've got some pretty good players still, talented players. Well, Valverde's okay, but I still wouldn't say he was Footballer of the Year or whatever. But he took a very good penalty, that's for sure. But there's still question marks over it, whether it was a penalty. I don't think it was. So, Bilal there. What's that? I'm a Guay, you're a Guel. Stephanie. Yeah. Yo, Bilal, Guays and Guels. Yeah. I only watched the first half. It was so boring. Yeah. It was really watching paint dry. Let's be fucking honest. But you know, I suppose there was still something interesting a little bit about it. I mean, certainly the second half. You know, watching how that referee was performing for a start was bad. Last out loud, Stephanie. Yeah. Pointless friendly, all about money as usual to the FA. Exactly. Yeah, totally agree. There's Steph. Steph again, end of Darling Buds of May. Yeah, exactly. Another good show that. Used to love watching that. The David Jason one with Catherine Zeta-Jones. Cool. All those years ago, I had a crush on her, of course, Catherine Zeta-Jones. She was gorgeous in that, and I was really young as well, but she was I didn't think much of the newer one. I think they've done a newer one, didn't they? I didn't really watch that. Brought it back. But yeah, Steph again, so glad United didn't get Tuchel. He's living off that lucky UCL win over Cheaty, yeah. When Pep overthought that final, yeah. Yeah, you're lucky. You dodged the bullet with him anyway. I think you're still on. Who is it? Well, you still got Carrick there, obviously, but I think you'll talk about. I mean, there was talk about Southgate, and you certainly don't want him either, do you? Let's be honest. So Steph again there. Question, Steve: do you think England should adopt central contracts for selected players like they do in cricket? Yes, that's a good question there, actually, Steph. That is a very good question. Possibly. I know. The thing is, it's about getting them to want to be interested, serious for playing for England again. I mean, there's not the sort of pride and respect for it like there used to be back in the day when players had so much pride and want to play for England. It's their country, give their all for England. It's not about the money. You know, let's have we're playing here, we're playing for our own country to do what we can, 100%. Do or die, it's all that sort of thing. And now they just don't give a shit. It's all about money now for most players. That's all they care about. But yeah, maybe contracts may help. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure whether it will, but it might mean a bit more if they do get paid more something for playing internationals. National League is a waste of time as an international competition. Oh, Nations League, sorry, yeah, Nations League. Yeah, it is. I agree. That's. But some like it because it gives them an extra chance to get into like European tournament, Europa tournament, European tournament, Euros. I mean, and World Cup or whatever. That gives them an extra chance to get there for some teams, and some teams that can't generally do it otherwise. I mean, like, I think San Marino were even in with a chance at one stage, and you think how bad they are, and that gives them a chance to almost, gives them another way into it that they're never going to have otherwise. So, in a way, I hate it. I think it's meaningless. It's not needed, but some will argue against that. Like those teams would argue against it. That it is worth it. There is a point to it doing it, playing that. But for me, it's too many more games. It's too many more international games that we don't want, and it should be scrapped. Really. Steph against Suarez was told to add bite to his game. He took it literally. Yeah. Well, rumor was he auditioned to being the James Bond ones, didn't it? As Jaws in James Bond, didn't it? But they thought he could do it because he didn't need the metal teeth, basically, didn't they? So he could have been in the James Bond films, but he didn't need those metal choppers. Let's be honest. I always thought that was great. Richard Kiel, I thought it was brilliant as Jaws. And I think the thing was he was only in, was it 2 or 3 films, if that? 2 or 3 of those Bonds. He was hardly in them, amazingly. I think he was in Live and Let Die, and he was in Spy Who Loved Me, and he was in Moonraker. So three films he was in. And people think he was, you know, one of the major villains that was in a load of those films. He was only in 3 James Bond films. So, yeah, no, we're not talking about football here, but yeah, he was only in 3 James Bond films, surprisingly, Richard Kiel. Yeah, but I think Cavani and Suarez retired from international duty. Yeah, I think they have. I know they're still playing for their clubs or whatever. Well, I know Suarez certainly is. Suarez Lecter, yeah. He's in Silence of the Lambs. Yeah. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Yeah, that's what he said, didn't he? Yeah. Who was it? He bit on those players. Ivanovic, remember that? I ate Ivanovic's liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. Yeah. So yeah. I know. I mean, you know, despite all that, what he was doing, you know, the big teeth and whatever else, and you know, terrible what he was doing. He's still a quality player. He still had a lot of great ability. I mean, he would have been a good goalkeeper as well, wouldn't he? You remember that one he saved on the line with his hands? You remember that? I think he was in the World Cup or whatever. And of course, they got a penalty, but was it? I think it was saved or something. Was it saved or whatever else? I seem to remember him doing it. You know, that's called the dark arts as well. And I mean, unfortunately, a lot of these teams adopt that. Well, these sort of thuggerish teams that who don't give a shit and don't want to play football. I mean, you could say even Italy, of course, they're the masters of it as well. But a lot of South American teams definitely are. He loves Chianti. He loves Chianti, yeah, true. Vino, what's that? Vino Collapso? Vino Collapso, yeah. He also bit someone at Ajax, yeah. Yeah, he sunk his teeth into a lot of people. I think he's quite hungry at the time, must have been, yeah. And had too much to eat. Yeah, yeah, Steph, he was just hungry, yeah. What I just said, but yeah. Against Ghana, Asamoah Gyan, Asamoah Jean, sorry. Skied that penalty, yeah, that's it, yeah. Yeah, he skied the penalty, yeah, I thought so. And yeah, I do remember all that. So, you know, they do get some for, I don't know. Some of these players are less than honest, let's be honest. Let's be honest, yeah, about what they do. So, this isn't Chianti, by the way. I haven't had somebody's liver with a nice Chianti and fava beans. You know, haven't done that. So, Clarice, nice to see you, Clarice. But no, what a film that was, by the way. Silence of the Lambs, great film back in the day, and I see a lot of those others. I think it's Hannibal was a good one, and is it Red Dragon was another good one. with those. But yeah, but getting back to the football, let's get back to this. I'm going to obviously go into this. Got a few articles. Yeah, but as I was saying, there were so many factors here. You know, wrong time of the season to play these games for a start as well. The teams they're playing, well, Uruguay, because always been reputation with kicking, ugly play, you know, cynical fouling. We know, everyone knows that, and yet these dummies at FA decide to put it. Well, I suppose as somebody else said here, was it Bilal or Steph or whatever, was saying it's about the money. I guess it was. That's all they care about is the money, and you know, they don't care who we're playing. I can't remember. I think Uruguay in the World Cup. I can't remember now. But I mean, I think Japan are. So, and I think this could be. I mean, the Japan one might be a good one for England, possibly. I think they're a very good team, Japan. I do rate them. They've done well in the competitions like World Cup and stuff before. So, I think, this could be a good one in a way for England. But yeah, getting back to all those sort of factors, factoring in the time of the season where players are thinking more about, their clubs, the running, playing for either the title, which is only really Arsenal, Man City, let's be honest, for the title, and really probably just Arsenal in the end. It seems like the Bees fighting for European competition to get into Europe. But then again, England-wise, we've only got Henderson. He's the only player we got that plays for England. So he's the only one. A lot of the others go for other Norgard for Denmark, and Damsgaard, of course, for Denmark. They both scored, by the way, so well done to them. They scored in there. I think it was the semi-final thing of the qualifier thing, the World Cup qualifiers, playoffs. They both scored. So well done to them. I think they won 4-0. I think it was 4-0 against Macedonia. And then some others like Aya for Norway, and who else was there we got played? Collins and so forth. Collins and Kelleher for Republic of Ireland. Trying to think who else. I think Thiago did play for Brazil. In the end, he did play. I think Schade was in the Germany squad. Whether he played, I don't know. So yeah, we had a few that were playing in internationals. But yeah, a lot of the other teams, other clubs around Arsenal, of course, had a lot of players for England. Who else? Tottenham had one or two with Spence, of course, and all that. Who else? Everton, Garner. I thought he had decent. He was okay at times. Decent game. He done a few things, mainly from set pieces or whatever. But I thought he was fairly good. James Garner. He looks a good option maybe for England. Obviously, a lot of these players now. We had that sort of big, massive 35-man squad, and it was split into two. And the players on the fringe of England were given it was an audition. This was supposed to be an audition for them. For most of them, it didn't work out. Let's be honest. And of course, with Cole, I think Cole Palmer was actually the best one coming on. And he's probably half fit. He's not totally fit, is he? I think he's still got that groin issue. And Bilal going, I think it'll be another draw tonight. Well, possibly. But I'd like to see better football. I'd like to see us play better tonight. I really would. But anyway, getting back to what I was saying, a lot of players are on international duty, and mainly it's about their clubs at this time of the year. I think United would have had a few out as well. They would have had Bruno playing for Portugal. Who else? Who's the other one up front? The other one that used to be at Wolves and that. He would have been playing. A lot of players there. Obviously, Maguire for England. Lamens for Belgium. I think he played for Belgium, didn't he? In the friendly recently, or wherever it was, friendly, I think. And quite a few others there for United. So yeah. So a lot for Chelsea, of course. A lot of players from them playing for. Yeah, Cunha. Sorry, that was it. Cunha. I was trying to think of Casemiro. Yeah, Brazil. Yeah, you're right. Steph. How many Japanese international footballers play outside that J League? Well, there is quite a few actually. I mean, obviously, a few at Celtic. Got Maeda at Celtic there. You got who's the other ones? The guy from Brighton, Mitoma. He plays there. Of course, Brighton. He was playing for Japan. He played against Scotland. A lot of them played against Scotland. I think one we're after, I'm trying to think of his name now, but there's a Japanese player there that we're after. He plays for Mainz, or whatever it's called. Is that Germany? I think Mainz. I think it's Germany. And I'm trying to think. I think it's Sanho or something. I think his name is. We're looking at him. He plays there. There's a few I think that play outside the J League actually. Cunha, yeah. So as I mentioned, yeah, a lot of these clubs had players playing in the international matches and that. So really, they're focusing on what they're doing in the season. As I say, title challenge, although it's only really two clubs. The European competition, which is actually about five or six clubs, you would say. Obviously, we're in that. Everton, Bournemouth, maybe, Newcastle. Was it Brighton? I think we're there or thereabouts. So Fulham, all the players from them have been focusing mainly on getting a European place or whatever. And then there's the teams like down, the teams that are fighting against relegation. The players they've got that are playing in international. You have to go off and play in them like for West Ham and Forest and Spurs and Leeds. Leeds and even Wolves, Burnley, even maybe. So it's important to them. It's the season rather than playing in international. So it has been wrong. It's the wrong time, and we all know that. And it's not just that; it's picking the wrong players again. It's the wrong. He hasn't gone for the form players. I mentioned it already. It's the same old with Tommy Tickle, and he don't impress me at all as a manager. I don't want him. I kept saying I'd like Eddie Howe. I'd like Eddie Howe as England manager. I think he'd be great. I mean, I know he's doing pretty badly with Newcastle at the moment. I don't know how much longer he'll last there, but I still think he'd be a great England manager. I really do. you know, and have an actual English manager again. Why not? You know, rather than a foreign manager. I mean, and how Tuchel's been, got that extended contract. I mean, total bollocks, I'm afraid. So to me, I don't get it, but still, we got him now. We got him now till what is it? A couple of years time or so. I think was it till 2028, 29, something like that. Or it might even been 2030. I can't remember, but I know it's a while his contract. So I don't like it, but there we go. Anyway, let's bring these up. Let's actually get on with it and talk about the game more, the matches, and obviously we'll talk about the Uruguay one first, and bring this one up, and here we go. Yes, so England won, Uruguay won. Of course, we know Ben Shyatt scored. Not the most popular of goal scorers, let's be honest. And also, I want to talk about the fans going to these games, paying all this money to watch this garbage. You know why? It's terrible. It's extortionate for these fans, these supporters going to watch these games, paying loads of money, and they watch that garbage. I mean, most of the time they're throwing those paper planes about. You could see that. That's how boring the game was, how shit the game was. You know, they're throwing paper planes about, you know. And I feel sorry for them. Why? But why? I mean, I wouldn't bother going. I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't watch it. I wouldn't go there. And then that tell the FA, look, we don't give a shit about England. Voting with our feet. We're not going. We're not going to go and watch England because we don't like them. They're shit. They're pathetic. The manager's shit, and the team players he's picking are no good. They're not up to it. You know why? Why should we bother going to watch them? You know, because it's not what we want. Yeah, paying to watch England is madness. It is, Steph. It is big time. 100%. It is madness. Definitely majorly. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't be paying. I used to sometimes back in the day. I did pay to go and see England at times. But that's when we had the best players. We had the really great players playing, and you know, the Linekers and the Gazzers and the Beardsleys and Waddles and Pearce and Shearer, Sheringham, Neville, Seaman, whatever else, all the best players, Barnes and Hoddle, Waddle, you know, Robson, those great players back then, you know, I didn't mind paying then, but nowadays it's just shit. It's just that half of them don't give a shit about England anymore. It's more about club football. It's not about international. So, you know, what's the point? The Premier League for them is bigger now than playing international football. And no, I don't see it anymore. It's pointless now. It's, you know, why bother? Yeah, Tuchel should call up. I just said about that, but I said about it, about Danny Welbeck. How the hell can he have been ignored again? How the hell? Scoring all these goals for Brighton and that. And no, he goes to like Solanke and Calvert-Lewin, they're both shit. And Solanke's been out injured most of the time. So, no, I don't see it. I don't get it. I don't get what Tickle sees. I really don't understand it. I think Solanke may have scored, is it 2 or 3 since he's been back? maybe goals, I don't know, for Spurs, but he's out mostly injured, and Calvert-Lewin ain't scored anything for ages for Leeds. Missed a golden opportunity here with a header, total terrible header, glancing header that went miles wide. Close range, he should have headed that in all day long, glaring miss. Any top striker would have headed that in from about a yard out or whatever it was. How he could miss, I don't know. It was easier to score. But yeah, Steph again, bring back home internationals or Six Nations version for football. France and Italy would be a good tournament. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, probably would. Six Nation style football tournament would be awesome. Yeah, it would be. Make it more interesting as well. The players get more out of it, I think, than this sort of thing. But yeah, getting back to this, as I say, Ben Shite put England 1-0 up in the 81st minute. Valverde with a penalty that should never have happened, should never have been. 94th minute penalty equalised. Somehow we had 80,581 there. Well, why? I don't know. Actually, loads of Uruguay fans, and I'm sure they enjoyed the experience. I'm sure they were happy there. I mean, it was so bad as well, though. I didn't like them. I couldn't stand them. And one thing I felt, I agreed with Tommy Tickle. I wouldn't shake their hands. That strange guy, manager of Uruguay, that used to be manager of Leeds, Bielsa, I think his name is, isn't it, Bielsa? He wouldn't shake his hand, and I wouldn't have shook his hand. I wouldn't have shook a lot of their players' hands. I would have shook their necks more than their hands, with all that. And you could see it's almost like, and when they scored, it's like they won a World Cup or something, Uruguay, like it's the best major thing ever to score an equaliser against England in a friendly at Wembley. Like you've won something, you won a major tournament, you won a trophy. They were celebrating like, there was no tomorrow. And I thought, fuck that, why? And they were absolute wankers. I can't, I just can't stand them. I never could stand them, Uruguay. And, I still can't, especially after this. But let's actually look at the lineups before I go into that. Saying England here, obviously Tommy Tickle had a 4-1-4-1 formation. James Trafford in goal, his full debut for James Trafford. I don't think he had a great deal to do, not a major lot, anything much, for him to test him in the game, really. Of course, he couldn't save the penalty, but it was a great penalty anyway, and nobody would have been able to save that. So Livramento, I still rate Livramento. I think he's quite good. I would probably take him to the World Cup. I think he's as good as a lot of them, and he was that right back? Yeah, right back. Tamori, don't understand that. Didn't get that one. Tamori, no. He was terrible. I thought he was really bad. I don't know why he's gone back to him. Another one I can't fathom why. Maguire, maybe. I thought he was okay. I think he done fairly good bringing the ball out as well, out from defence. Don't think he was the worst. I think he was fairly good. I'm still not sure why he's gone back to him. I think there's better ones out there. Let's be honest, you'd probably have Konza, and I don't know why Dan Burn. I don't get that as well. Another one with Dan Burn. I think he's too tall. the height probably is not that much of an issue because he's great physical in the air, I suppose you could say. But it's on the ground. He's got no pace. He's got no pace, Dan Burn. For me, no. And he's turning. He's like a Titanic turning. You know. For me, he's not good enough for England. You would probably have Konza and Gahey there all day long. Konza and Gahey, really. On the left, obviously Spence. I don't mind Spence. I think he's okay. He's pretty decent. He's fairly good going forward. And I think sometimes he should have crossed it when he had the chance rather than going back and passing. You know, get it over while you can. I didn't understand why he didn't cross that much when he should have done. Yeah, standards are low snakes belly. Yeah. Yeah. Rashford did his usual running into blind addies. Yeah. You're right there, Steph. Yeah, I'll be going on talking about him in a little while. But yeah, Jordan Spence is all right. He's probably a decent option there. Obviously, O'Reilly for me is probably the better one. Left back, of course, you had MLS before that, Lewis Skelly, of course, who doesn't even play for Arsenal now, so he won't be figuring. I don't think he'll be going at all. I definitely wouldn't take Tamori. Not for me. No, not Tamori. No. As I say, for me, though, it'd be Konza probably. Konza and Gahey. The right back, I think, I would probably have Livramento. I mean, obviously, you've got what's his name as well at Chelsea. So you've got him, James at Chelsea, but he's hardly ever fit. That's the problem. He's injured most of the time. That's the problem. He's a great right back. I think he's probably one of the best. I mean, how Alexander-Arnold can't play there, I don't know. Why he's ignoring him, and his passing ability as well. Don't forget playmaking ability. He's brilliant. TAA. Why he's overlooking him, I don't get it. But yeah, I mean, Reece James for me would be good enough if he could stay fit, but he may just probably go for bloody Ben Shite because he's versatile. And I think he came on, he played as centre back when he came on, not a right back, so he can play there as well as right back. So that might get him in the squad. But obviously we can talk more about him a bit later about his situation. As I say, Henderson, well, no, not for me anymore. Not for me as an England player. He's fine for us, fine for the Bees for me. Yeah, keep playing for Brentford, but not an England player. He's not an England player anymore. He's too old for that. And he's got all the experience. He's won loads of stuff, but no, you can't play him there. I mean, obviously Rice would be there. You'd have Rice, of course. Anderson, probably, but you got Bellingham, you got Palmer. Plenty of choices here. We had Madueke there. He didn't do enough for me. I don't think he done enough. Foden, no, not at all. Wouldn't have Foden at all in the England squad. Garner, I don't know. It's a possible one. Possible. I thought he done quite well. You probably would take him, maybe. Rashford, where the thing is, he done one amazing sort of one dribble going past all these players. they were trying to take him out, of course, trying to foul him. And he done that one amazing run and decent-ish cross. But other than that, what else did he do? I don't think he's good enough. I don't think so. Not for me. I would have Gordon there maybe, or I think even Harvey Barnes myself. I still rate Harvey Barnes. He came on as well. I don't think he had enough time to do anything. So for me, maybe Barnes there or Gordon possibly. Solanke, no, not for me. No way. No way. Not good enough. Not good enough. I would have Welbeck, as was mentioned. Me and Bilal have talked about that. Welbeck all day long. Or also Tony, as well as obviously Kane. You've got Kane as well. But for me, no, not Solanke. And not Calvert-Lewin either, which of course came on. But Uruguay, we'll just go through them as well. Obviously, that Bielsa, strange guy, manager there. Formation 4-4-1-1. Muslera in goal. Varela, Arejo, Oliveira, Piqueires, Canobio, sorry. Valverde, Ugarte, of course, is United. Arejo, Di Arrascaeta, and Aguirre up front. Sorry. Yeah, just look for a few. Look at their team there, but a few of their subs. Trying to see if obviously Nunez, he came on. Darwin Nunez. Oh my God, that would have been embarrassing if he had scored against us. I remember it was so embarrassing him scoring against Brentford for Liverpool. I mean, fucking hell, 2 goals in injury time. I still remember that to beat us, so weren't happy about that. Certainly weren't happy. I heard John Stones is coming back and was coming back. No, I don't rate him either, Steph. I don't want him in it. I don't rate Stones at all. We'll still make mistakes. No, not for me. No way. Trippier in England, I think he's finished. No, don't want him either, Steph. Don't rate Trippier at all. No, Grealish, maybe not either, because what's he doing? He's not playing well. He's playing a bit for Everton and he started off well, but I think he's faded. I don't know what's going on there. He's not doing it as well. Probably not Grealish at all. I would definitely have Gordon or Barnes, probably. At least there. And Watkins, yeah, as well, Steph. I would have Watkins, probably. I mean, that's at least 3 you could have up front there. You'd have Watkins, Tony, and Welbeck. More than any of those others. Solanke, Calvert-Lewin, no. They're terrible. They're not good. And, Calvert-Lewin missing that header, no. Terrible miss. So definitely not for me. I would, what has actually Watkins done wrong anyway? For England, I mean, he scored. Don't forget, he scored in the Euros as well. That great goal in the semis. So was it the semis he scored? I think it was the semis or whatever. But yeah, it was the semis. It was the semis, wasn't it? Or was it the final? I know he scored a great goal. But yeah, I think he should be in it, definitely. Yeah. But as I say, going back to their team and squad, their subs, I mean, that Nunez, I mean, that would have been really embarrassing if he had scored. Doing it against us was bad enough against Brentford, but Uruguay against England, crikey. Palestri, of course, he was an ex-United player. Well, no, is he? Is he? No, he is an ex-player. He isn't. He isn't still there, Palestri. No, he's not. He's not still at United, is he? No. I know you got. Is it Ugarte? Yeah, definitely. Ugarte is at United. Um, so yeah. But anyway, back to England. Um, yeah, because there were a few substitutions in the second half, of course. Um, Lewis Hall, not sure he done enough. I thought he's pretty good, Lewis Hall. He's not too bad. Could be another option. Came on in the 69th, Ben Shite. Well, obviously, I think he made his pick him because of his versatility as well. Centre back or right back, he can play. Adam Walton, he done okay when he come on. I thought he was decent. I thought he was fairly good. What he done, maybe a good chance for him. Barnes, of course, I still think should be in there. Although he didn't do a lot that much when he came on. Bowen as well. I think he should go. Calvert Lewin, no way. Wouldn't keep him there. Yeah, Lewis Hall, maybe Mainu, possibly. He's pretty good. United. Palmer, definitely. I thought he was great when he came on. Half fit, maybe, but he was great. Pickford, Ramsdale, of course. Ramsdale might get a chance, maybe play tonight against Japan. You never know. I still don't get this Jason Steele one, why he's brought him in. He won't be used at all. What's the point of it? Bringing Jason Steele into it. I don't understand that one either. One from Brighton. I think is he second choice, third choice at Brighton or something. Stones, no way. As I say, Walton maybe. I think he will put Ben Shite in it. Unfortunately, but yeah, those were the lineups. Let's go to the report. At a glance, full England debuts for James Trafford and James Garner. I thought Garner done okay though. I think he's fairly good. Could play. Could get in it. Noni Madueke full stop with injury before half time. Phil Foden also hurt. Ben Shite opened scoring from close range after being jeered when coming on as a substitute. But White concedes stoppage time penalty and Federico Valverde equalises. We'll do the player ratings in a little while as well. This is the report, Phil McNulty. Ben Wright suffered mixed fortunes on his international comeback, as England were held to a draw by Uruguay in a scrappy Wembley friendly. The Arsenal defender was booed by 3 Lions fans when he came on in the 69th minute, following his return from a self-imposed exile after his early departure from the Qatar World Cup in 2022. You can understand, why our fans are like that. Why, the mixed feelings. I mean, the guy walks away. He walks away from England. You turn your back on your country. I think the guy's a melt as well. I can't stand him. I think he's an idiot. I really do. Absolute muppet when he's been interviewed as well. Bad attitude. He doesn't love football. It's just a business to him, just a job. He doesn't get enjoyment out of football. He doesn't, do homework on the opposition. Look at the opposition at all. Who he's playing. So for me, why he's there, I don't know. As I say, the versatility, I guess, but no, I wouldn't. I think it's toxic. I don't think he should be there. Why he's been brought back, and you can understand the fans' feeling, the supporters, what they think about him, and You know, you walk out, you walk away from the England setup, and suddenly you're back in it. It's like a clean slate because Tommy Tickle wants to pick you for England. No, I'm sorry, it's not right. It's not right. Suddenly he's made himself available for so many years now, since 2022. He didn't want to play for England. He didn't want to play. He didn't want to be part of it. And now suddenly he does. And that's just not right. That's not right for me. I don't understand it. It's not good enough. You can't pick and choose when you want to play for your country. That's so wrong. It's because the rumour was he fed out with certain members of the staff. Was it Holland? And maybe even Southgate he had problems with. I know obviously he didn't want to do, looking up on researching the opposition or anything. And that's what he didn't want to do. And he was adamant. He was totally adamant about it, but I'm sorry, he shouldn't be back. He shouldn't be back playing for England. There's no way. He shouldn't be. He shouldn't be doing it. Totally wrong. But anyway, let's get back to this. And the Arsenal. Ben Wright suffered mixed fortunes on his international comeback, as England were held to a draw by Uruguay in a scrappy Wembley friendly. The Arsenal defender was booed by 3 Lions fans when he came on in the 69th minute, following his return from a self-imposed exile after his early departure from the Qatar World Cup in 2022. But White turned the jeers to cheers when he scored from virtually on the goal line from Cole Palmer's corner with 9 minutes left. It looks like his first international goal would be enough for an England victory, only for White to then concede a stoppage time penalty. It was still debatable if it was. Stoppage time penalty for a challenge on Federico Vinas. After a video assistant referee VAR check, Federico Valverde rifled the spot kick into the corner past James Trafford. Tuchel gave full England debuts to goalkeeper Trafford and Everton midfielder James Garner, but it was hard for players to shine as this friendly developed into an untidy scrap. Uruguay lost Joaquin Picares early on following a challenge with Noni Madueke, who was himself replaced by Jared Bowen 7 minutes before half time after picking up a heavy knock. Phil Foden struggled to make an impression, but his night was cut short not long after he was on the end of a dreadful challenge from Uruguay defender Ronald Araujo. That could have merited a red card. Yes, why wasn't it? Why wasn't it a red card? It should have been. Terrible tackle. It injured Foden. He had to go off because of it. Terrible, over the top. Dreadful. The referee didn't do anything, didn't even book the guy. It was fucking disgraceful. He should have been off, let's be honest. Terrible. Even in a friendly. That's not merited. That's not right. And be up to you, Irish Pit Terrier. Hope you're well, my friend. Hope you're good. Hope you're good, buddy. And so for me, that was a sending off all day long. All day long. You can't be doing that in a friendly. You can't. The Man City attacker was replaced by Palmer, whose set piece created England's best chance of the night. After 70 minutes, as another substitute, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, somehow headed wide with the goal at his mercy. Exactly. It's fucking terrible. Terrible miss. Absolutely useless. No, he shouldn't be picked. No way. Calvert-Lewin is not an England player. There was an uncomfortable moment when White came on as a substitute, but he had the satisfaction of finally breaking down Uruguay's fierce resistance, only for his joy to be soured by that converted penalty in the 4th minute of added time. Following 6 clean sheets in a row, Valverde's strike was the first goal England had conceded since the 3-1 loss to Senegal in June 2025. As it says there as well, if these were the Tuchel trials, Foden, among others, failed. Who was England's attacking spot? How England's players rated? So we'll do all that in a minute, in a little while there. Analysis, players struggle to shine in tough tests. England head coach Tuchel may not have learned anything new about his squad in a friendly that was untidy, riddled with stoppages, and ended in an unsatisfactory result. What he will take away, however, are the lessons of confronting well-organised, fiercely well-drilled opposition of the sort England may have to overcome in the World Cup this summer. Uruguay were physical, dangerous, and eventually earned a draw with late pressure as White's night turned sour, giving away a penalty after his first international goal. It was a mixed night for those hoping to force their way into contention for Tuchel's squad. Although this was a game where it was tough to shine. Harry Maguire did well on his international return, especially with a heroic block in the closing moments, while striker Dominic Solanke was busy and Garner neat and tidy. It was not so pleasing for Leeds United striker Calvert-Lewin, who was guilty of a glaring miss with the sort of headed opportunity that is his strength. You probably would have said Harry Kane would have scored that all day long. If he was playing, Harry Kane would have nutted that one in, surely. Definitely, you would think. But, so Calvert-Lewin is not up to it, let's be honest. So Chelsea forward Palmer made the deciding impact when he came on, creating Calvert-Lewin's opportunity and setting up White's goal with a corner. But overall, this was a match that was far from pleasing on the eye. Exactly. Tuchel, if he was not before, will at least know this could end up being a dress rehearsal for more important competitive challenges ahead at the World Cup. Let's look at the comments first. What people thought, the fans. BW, the referee had a shocker. Well, that's for sure. But the worst decision of the night was me not changing the channel at half time. Yeah, I probably should have done as well, to be honest. Should have been watching that shit. But yeah, Wiggy 83. To BW, the referee had a shocker. I'm just glad I didn't pay to watch that. Exactly, I do and all. Let's see. There's loads for that one. Bonnie Mills, friendly or not, this ref should be nowhere near international football. I totally agree, 100%. Yeah, Wiggy 83. Again, his display epitomised the match. Totally inept. Yep. What's that? Will FG. What on earth was that referee on tonight? One, an absolute shocking change on Foden not given a free kick or a yellow card or even sent off. No, terrible. Two bookings for the same player. Graham Pole moment, exactly. I think Ugarte got 2 yellows, but apparently the yellow card had gone to somebody else originally, another player. and but Ugarte got 2 yellows. It was rescinded because he had booked someone else. Number 3, an incredibly soft penalty. Exactly, that should never have been a penalty either. Let's be honest. 4, not stopping Uruguay from fouling at every opportunity. Yeah. And we think Premier League referees are bad. Totally, I agree, 100%. I agree. There was no protection for the players whatsoever. No protection at all. And this one here, international football, not like it's changed much. No. David here, England supporters booing their own player after he scores at Wembley. Real classy, and this is why we'll deservedly never win anything. But he deserved it, though. Ben Schreidt deserved that because he's a prat. He's an arsehole. Doesn't give a shit. He don't give a shit about England. He don't give a shit about football. It's a job for him. That's all he wants is just a business, make money from it. He doesn't care about football, really. The opposition, and so really, let's be honest, he probably does deserve those jeers, those boos at times. Sorry, I have to disagree with you there. I thought he was yes, he scored, but that's not the point of it. You can't just walk away from England 1 minute and not want to play for England and then decide you want to the next. Sorry, no, that's totally wrong. That is bad. Black Valiant. White won't give a damn. No, rare example of a player who puts self-respect above seeking the adoration of narrow-minded fools. Exactly. Totally agree. This one here, awful tackle from Arejo, unpunished. Ugarte booked twice, and then one rescinded, both seemingly because it's a friendly. Why bother with a referee at all then if the rules aren't enforced? Exactly. Another one, why give a penalty if it's a friendly is also a question. Yeah. Usual dire rubbish from England. Football in general is just getting boring. Exactly. Totally agree. Side-to-side passing. Yeah, exactly. Totally agree. Right, couldn't agree more. Modern football is just 30% side-to-side and backwards passing. I lose count how many times a forward or midfielder is passed the ball only to give it straight back to the person, who passed it to them. Usually a defender, who is then expected to turn into Glenn Hoddle and start spraying 50-yard passes forward. Yeah. Totally. Yeah. 100% right again. One thing we have learned from tonight's match is that we won't be seeing the referee at the World Cup. Well, we hope not. I think there'll be pretty bad ones in that as well in the World Cup. Let's be honest, but I wouldn't say they'd be as bad as him, surely. But then again, you never know. Be up to you, Kev. Hope you're well, buddy. Hope you're good. Afternoon, mate. Gutted about my lads losing the playoff game against the Czech Republic. So am I, yeah. It was a shame, mate. You lost penalties, I believe, 4-3, unfortunately. But you done well in the game. I think I saw highlights. You done pretty well. Obviously, Parrott scored again and all that. But Ireland bottled it. We'll look forward to seeing how England and Scotland do at the World Cup. Yeah. We certainly won't have our players there now for Republic of Ireland. Nathan Collins and Kelleher won't be playing in the World Cup. So, sorry about that. Sorry about that, Kev, for you. That was gutting, I'm sure. Terrible. For Wales and Northern Ireland as well. They both missed out, of course, as well. So, commiserations to all those nations. Very sad. Yeah. Most of the England players who played tonight should join him. Yeah. Waste of time watching them lot tonight. Yeah. Uruguay, what a horrible fouling and moaning team they are. But we've all seen worse from South America, haven't we? Never a penalty, a bit more decisiveness in attack would have helped. Penalty all day long? No, I don't think so. I don't agree with that. No. I don't know why any England manager persists with Foden. Put an England shirt on him, and he turns into the invisible man every time. Totally agree. Even worse was that performance from the referee. Absolutely atrocious. Agree with all of that. Totally. Remember, he did have one decent game against the mighty Welsh. Yeah, exactly. Just a taster before the World Cup. Play acting, inexplicable refereeing decisions, blatant cheating, and dubious penalties. Yeah, exactly. I think we will see a lot of that to try to ensure a Messi versus Ronaldo final. Typical dirty, dangerous play from Uruguay, compounded by bizarre refereeing. Ugarte was booked twice, which means a sending off. Foden could have had his leg broken, which is a sending off offence. The stop-start nature of the game, friendlies are like that, and have been for the 50 years or so that I've been watching England. Tommy Tickle is being typically eloquent in his comments on ITV. Bielsa and Uruguay took it seriously. Let's see what happens next. It's bad enough watching boring England these days, but those decisions were awful. Never a penalty, and Uruguay should have been down to 9 players. Exactly. Fans should demand their money back. Exactly. Totally agree. FA take note. Never play that team again near the end of the season. Yep. And close to the World Cup, Foden could have had a broken ankle. Exactly, 100%. The FA, as it says, FA, fuck all, no fuck all, what they're doing. Exactly in the name, isn't it? Let's be honest. Totally honest. The FA know FA about anything. Right. Oh, not FA's fault. This is World Cup preparation. No, okay, whatever. Yeah, right, whatever. Yeah, that's bollocks. Sorry, wrong. Disagree. Boring game. England toothless. Uruguay dirty. Refereeing incompetent. Exactly. Totally. Manager German. Exactly. Yes, he is German. Doesn't give a shit about England, surely. Well, what did we learn from that abysmal spectacle? We did learn that officiating is in serious trouble. Yep. The on-field referee as well as VAR were absolutely diabolical. Do players have to be stretchered off with career-threatening injury for officials to recognise dangerous out-of-control challenges? If this is the best FIFA has to offer, we are in trouble, shocking beyond belief. Yep. So after watching that garbage, all you can criticise is the officiating. The officiating was the least of the problems on display tonight. If you can't see that, there's no hope. But fucking hell, mate. It was disgraceful, the refereeing. Come on. That was out of order. It was terrible, the refereeing. You've got to admit. Anyone could have seen how bad that was, the refereeing. So, well, there's no hope for you, is there, if you can see that? Anyway, my namesake, Steve. I've got Steve on here. That's good. Can someone tell me what Foden does or has ever done in an England shirt? Exactly. I totally agree. What has he done? Not much. For the ability the guy's got, hasn't done it. Hasn't delivered. Just runs and either loses the ball easily or tamely shoots wide. exactly. Do you have to be blind to be a VAR ref? Just curious. Yeah. Not a great game, and the ref didn't help. Was poor. England probably not learning much from this, except that these players will be fringe squad members, or not go at all. Lesson learned then. Pathetic. I want my 2 hours back. Take them in lieu by not watching the next match. Why he's not talking about the absolute farce of having VAR in place, yet failing to send off a player receiving 2 yellow cards? Exactly. Edit. Rescinded, apparently. Well, as long as they're not making it up as they go along. Yeah. Well, as long as they're not making it up as they go along, like they did in the Bournemouth versus Man United game last week. Yeah. I won't go through any more. I think that's about enough. There's loads more comments, but I think we all get the gist of it. Let's look at this. If these were the Tuchel trials, Foden, among others, failed. Phil Foden's World Cup audition ended painfully with a consoling arm of England head coach Thomas Tuchel around his shoulder. The 25-year-old's face was a picture of hurt, primarily from a dreadful change by Uruguay defender Ronald Araujo that left him clutching his ankle, but also after a display that left his chances of making the cut for this summer's showpiece in the balance. The Manchester City forward was given the opportunity to strike first in the fight for a fiercely competitive number 10 position, as he started ahead of Chelsea's Cole Palmer. Instead, Foden failed to make any impact, suffering in an overcrowded area against a gifted and uncompromising Uruguay side. I wouldn't say gifted, no, wouldn't say that. But definitely uncompromising and thuggish and dirty. Often forced to drop deep to little effect in this 1-1 draw. The worst case scenario is he may have missed his last big chance to force his way to the forefront of Tuchel's thoughts as he finalises his World Cup plans. Palmer, meanwhile, delivered a lively cameo in which he fashioned a glorious chance, which substitute Dominic Calvert-Lewin somehow headed wide from 6 yards, and then set up Ben White's goal with a corner. Foden is currently fighting on 2 fronts to secure a regular place in City's team under Pep Guardiola, as well as reviving an England career which has lost momentum. He has started 21 out of City's 30 Premier League games this season, but his form has faded following a bright start. Foden needed a big performance against Uruguay to make an impression in areas of the team where Tuchel has plenty of quality to choose from. It did not happen. He was peripheral at best. Foden was uncharacteristically subdued, with Tuchel saying, "We put him into place as we were aware of the midfield three of Uruguay. They changed a lot of the positions. In moments, I thought he could be a bit more adventurous and could be a bit more like a number 10 and try a little bit more stuff and take a bit more risk. He was unable to exert his influence in forward positions. Although this untidy scrap of a friendly against Marcelo Bielsa's side was hardly the stage for creativity to flourish. Foden did deserve a measure of sympathy, however, because he was very fortunate to avoid serious injury in the aftermath of a reckless challenge from Araujo that went unpunished. Palmer's bright show only emphasised Foden's struggle, and now he must wait to see if he gets another opportunity. Foden, for all his brilliant talent and success with City, has often resembled a square peg in a round hole for England, pushed to the wider margins to accommodate Jude Bellingham, as happened at Euro 2024. Tuchel now has options in the central area behind the striker. The role Foden favours, as well as on the left flank, where it's been used in the past. Real Madrid's Bellingham and Morgan Rogers, with a Villa man's excellence for club and country, giving Tuchel a genuine choice, appear to be locked in a straight fight at number 10. And Palmer has shown what he can offer as an alternative. He did it in flashes at Wembley and has done so for England in the past, particularly when scoring in the losing Euro 2024 final against Spain in Berlin. Maguire now a contender, but did Garner and Solanke do enough? Marcus Rashford was lively against Uruguay, while Newcastle United's Anthony Gordon currently appears favourite to start in that position at the World Cup, with Arsenal forward Noni Madueke also comfortable on both flanks. Tuchel has spoken about Foden as an unorthodox deputy for captain Harry Kane as a central striker. But this would surely be too much of a stretch. The World Cup is no place for wild experiments. It all leaves Foden as one of the players whose place on the plane to the United States is uncertain. Wondering if a big opportunity had passed him by against Uruguay. England's struggle to impose themselves on Uruguay meant it was a testing night for those wanting to impress. There's no one out there in a red shirt that looked over to the bench and said, "I'm ready to go. I'm ready. I'm going to America. I want a ticket for that plane," said ex-England goalkeeper Paul Robinson on BBC Radio 5 Live. Manchester United's Harry Maguire made the most of his recall in defence with a solid display, capped by two brave crucial blocks in the closing stages, as Uruguay pressed for an unlikely winner. He is now a serious contender for the squad, especially with fitness doubts continuing to surround John Stones. Tuchel may also find Maguire's experience at major tournaments crucial. James Trafford had little to do on his debut in goal, while another making his first full appearance, Everton's James Garner, was tidy and made a good impression. Whether it is enough for a World Cup place is another matter. Tottenham Hotspur striker Dominic Solanke worked hard in attack as he pressed his claim to be understudy to Kane. But Leeds United's Calvert-Lewin, whose last appearance was 5 years ago, will bitterly regret his missed opportunity with the scoreline goalless. The pantomime villain, and then there is Ben White. England's fans, certainly a large number of them, made their views clear on the Arsenal defender's decision to return to international football following his self-imposed exile after an early departure from the 2022 World Cup. There were loud jeers when he came on as a 69th minute substitute, although they were replaced by cheers when he stabbed home from virtually on the goal line to put England ahead 12 minutes later. Just when it looked like the evening's pantomime villain would be an unlikely match winner, White was penalised for a lunge on Federico Vinas in stoppage time. A penalty was awarded after a video assistant referee VAR check, with Federico Valverde completing the formalities in the 94th minute. This was hardly a case of White going under the radar on his highly publicised return. A first England appearance since he played against the Ivory Coast in March 2022. The scenery now moves on to England's next Wembley friendly against Japan on Tuesday. with a lingering feeling this might have been a more profitable night for the World Cup hopes of those who did not play rather than those who did. Let's go to the. I think these are the player ratings, is it? Yeah, the player ratings. Let's do these, and then I'll move on to the preview for the Japan game. No more comments. Right. Yeah, let's do these ratings. Look at these. Time is fast running out to catch the eye of England boss Tommy Tickle, I should say. Well, I call him that. Really, that's his name? No, it's not. But before this summer's World Cup, but who managed to in Friday's friendly against Uruguay? BBC Sport football news reporter Alex Howell rates how the players performed at Wembley. And you can see how BBC Sport readers rated them at the bottom of the page too. Starting 11, James Trafford, he looked assured on his England debut and displayed a calmness on the ball. One very good punch when a dangerous Uruguay cross came into the area. 6. Yeah. I would actually give him a 7, to be honest. I thought he was actually decent. I don't think he had much to do. But looks okay. I'll give him a 7 myself. Tino Livramento, he was given a chance to show what he can do at right back. I think he's pretty good myself. After his last appearance, came on the opposite side of defence. Reece James is the England number 1, but Livramento is a very good understudy. 6. Again, I think maybe a 7. I would give him. Fikayo Tomori, no, not for me. The AC Milan centre back was not tested too much, but showed good recovery pace when he needed to and worked well with Harry Maguire. I don't think he was that great, sorry. Got a 6, no, 5, or maybe, no, 4. I'm giving him a 4. I thought he looked poor to me. Not good enough to worry. No. Harry Maguire, yeah, stepped into midfield with the ball whenever he could. One good pass to Nonny Madueke in the first half. He took the armband in the second half and showed his experience at international level. A real chance to make a late charge for the World Cup squad. 7. I'll probably actually give him an 8. I thought he was probably one of our better defenders, to be honest. Yeah, Jed Spence didn't do enough, really. I don't know, not really. Provided with width on the England left, but not much else to do. One Uruguay counter-attack came down his side after he had pushed up the pitch. 5. Yeah, probably not worth more. I think he's decent going forward. He done things. He should have got crosses in when he had the chance. Didn't do enough there. Probably 5 is about right. Jordan Henderson, a tidy performance and not asked too many questions. Marshalled the midfield and gave instructions to the less experienced members of the team. I still don't understand why he's still there, though. Not an England international for me. 6 he got. Yeah, but I don't think he's good enough. Not right for it. Brentford, yeah, but not internationals. 6. I mean, probably about right. Maybe a 5, but no, not an England player. James Garner, the Everton man, can be very happy with his first England display. A match that did not have the intensity of a competitive game, but Garner did what he needed to do. He was asked to take set pieces, which is a compliment. And I thought he took them pretty well, mainly. A lot of good ones, to be honest. Corners, free kicks, so forth. I thought he was pretty decent. I'll give him a 7, actually. Phil Foden, a lot of effort, but in a match lacking quality. Yeah. He was not able to show his best. No. Hit with a really heavy change by Ronald Araujo and then replaced by Cole Palmer in the second half. Not the performance he needed to force himself into the World Cup squad. 5. I'd give him less than that. I'd give him about 3, 2. Let's give him a 3. I'll be a little bit generous. 3. No, not good enough. Not good enough for England. No. Noni Madueke, the Arsenal winger, had a nice interchange with striker Dominic Solanke and always looked positive. I don't think he had his best game, to be honest, not really. On the ball when he tries to take on his fullback, but was withdrawn after 38 minutes after an injury, after a heavy challenge. 5. No. 4, I'd give him a 4. I don't think he done a lot. Marcus Rashford came central to receive the ball a lot, as Spence provided the width on the England left. One excellent run, in the first half with the ball where he carried it nearly the length of the pitch, as he showed his pace. But he needs to do that more. That's inconsistent. It's not good enough. He was the one England player who looked like he could make something happen every time he got the ball. 7. Yeah, possibly about right. I don't think he deserves more. One great moment, as they said, that one great thing, but I don't think he's good enough either. He's so inconsistent with it all. Doesn't always get a ball across when he should do. Actually, I'll give him a 6 myself. I wouldn't give him 7. You give him 6 for one magic moment. That was it. Dominic Solanke, not for me either. A flash of quality as he out nutmegged the Uruguay midfielder. Yeah, okay. Before having a shot blocked on an England counter attack early on. Good play with Madueke and shot saved in a bright first half, replaced by Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Still not for me, no. I still don't think Solanke's good enough. He's injured most of the time. When he has played, he scored, 2, 3 goals maybe, if that, for Spurs. No, not for me. I'll give him probably about a 5 or 4. One great moment or 2, one flash of something. No. Substitutes Ben Shyatt, dramatic return for the Arsenal defender on his first appearance for England since leaving the World Cup in 2022. White was booed by some of the home supporters. Played at centre-back and picked it and poked in what he thought was a late winner before giving away a penalty for Uruguay's equaliser 6. Yeah, I don't like the guy, unfortunately, and whether he's still, he's versatile, plays centre-back, right-back, but a guy that doesn't really like playing football is only a job for him and doesn't study the opposition, doesn't really watch it, not really interested. It's a job for him. Yes, he scored, but he gave away a penalty. I still don't think it was. But whatever, I'm giving the guy about a 5 or 4. I'll give him a 4 because he scored as well. So I still don't like him. I don't think he should be playing for England at all. Jared Bowen, yes, I rate Jared Bowen. I really do. If West Ham go down, I think he will stay in the Premier with somebody. I think we should go for him, Brentford. I really do, but whether we will, I don't know. Replaced Madueke in the first half, but it was a quiet performance from the West Ham forward 5. Probably about right. He didn't do as much when he came on this time. I still rate him, though. Alan Wharton, the Crystal Palace midfielder, was brought on to inject some pace into the England attack. But like most others on the pitch, the game did not allow him to show his best. I thought he was fairly bright. I thought he'd done some decent stuff. 6. I'll give him a 6 rather than 5. Cole Palmer, the start of the battle for the number 10 position for Palmer, brought on in place of Foden, and the Chelsea playmaker looked to make things happen and should have had an assist when his free kick was headed wide from close range by Calvert-Lewin. 6, I'd actually give him about an 8 because I thought he showed more than any of them when he came on. Any of those players did in midfield. I thought he was great when he came on, injected more, and and produce more. Calvert-Lewin should have scored with that header. It's a dreadful header when he gave him that great cross for that. And the ball where Ben Shite scored. I thought he was great. I'll give him an A, Cole Palmer. He's probably half fit as well. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, no, not for me, no way. The Leeds forward should have scored from the excellent chance he was presented with from Palmer's free kick after coming on as a second half substitute. Yeah, 5. I'd give him a 2. A 2. No, I mean, he missed that chance. No. He's not good enough. He's not good enough for England. Harvey Barnes, the game became disjointed with so many changes, and Barnes did not get a chance to show why he's been recalled to the national team. I still rate him, though. Probably 5 is about right, I guess, but he's better than that. Lewis Hall, a good recovery change after coming on as a second half substitute. One show of his running power when he tried to get on the end of a Palmer through ball. Yeah, he's good. He didn't get enough chance. Maybe 5. Probably agree with that. Toby Mainu, I think he's good as well, but didn't do as much. Come on, kept things simple. A nice way for him to come back into the England fold. 5, probably right for this game. Agree with some of that, but not all of it. Those ratings. Player of the match, Trafford's there. I was close. Yeah, Maguire got 6.02, Trafford 6.05. Close between them two, maybe. Palmer as well. Garner was decent. Palmer, you could argue, could have got man of the match for what he done coming on. What was it? I was going to look at was it the England fans? I've read all this, seen all this. I thought the England fans were going to give their ratings. But anyway, let's move on. I think we'll move on to the preview for tonight. Talk about that. The game against Japan later on. Be up to you, Warren. Hope you're well there, buddy. Hope you're good. England were poor again. Very lucky to get away with a draw. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, mate. Exactly, my friend. Ben Shite should not have played and should have been sent off. Yeah, exactly. Totally agree. So anyway, let's get on to the Japan one. I will put a link in after I've spoke about all this. If anyone wants to hop on and have a little chat quickly about it all. Won't go into it too much more, but obviously I'm going to show, talk about the England-Japan game anyway now. Right. Here we go. Right, bring this up now. And there we go. So tonight, match centre, this is England versus Japan. International match friendly, 7:45, kick-off at Wembley. All the key details you need to know ahead of England's international against Japan at Wembley Stadium. Thomas Tuchel and Elliot Anderson addressed the media on Monday morning ahead of Tuesday's game. Here's what they had to say. Tuchel on injury updates. There is nothing more to add from me as a coach. I'm not a medical expert, but we had an assessment after the match, and none of them were able to stay and get any minutes. So we released them. They had a medical assessment, wanted desperately to play, wanted desperately to be involved. That made just no sense to take the risk. If I would have been, if it would have been a last game of the season, we would have kept them and tried everything. But in this moment of the season, it did not make sense, and the risk for making it worse was just way too big. But that is the problem, isn't it? He made it. They're playing them at this part of the season. They shouldn't be. These games, you know, they come at the worst part of the season. So that's the problem as well. That's the FA's fault. That is the fucking FA's fault. Why they didn't, why this has come about. It's the fucking FA's fault for playing the games at this point of the season, when everything's more important for them in the Premier, in the league. It's no, it's the FA, and they don't give a shit. And they're called the FA for a reason, and they know fuck all. On the Japan fixture, I like the Japanese team. I like the Japanese culture, and it's an honour to play against the national team of Japan. When you have the chance to face opponents like this, I think we have two very different opponents to play against. Two very different mentalities, two very different styles of play. We were excited about to have the possibility. But once you start looking deeply and you start looking into the quality and the way Japan plays, I think they have one loss in 17 matches. Very, very good run of results. They're well drilled. You see all the quality, and you know that you need to be well prepared, and we need to be ourselves on our top performance to be able to win. On the Uruguay draw, I think we got a lot of things right. Not throughout the 90 minutes, but in most of the phases. We got the things right that we wanted to get right. We need to have those kinds of tests now to get to know each other better. It's coming fast, but we still need time to be prepared. And if you turn it around, do you think Brazil will not be prepared in May or June? I think they will be prepared. Once you arrive in June in the US, you don't think anymore what you did in March. You play knockout football, and then when it matters, we will be ready. Honest belief in the team. I have total belief that if we got the selection right and we arrive with the team, this is what I feel now again in the camp. That we're ready, taking steps and steps. Players want to be a part of it. Players will want to stay in camp, even without that they don't play. They are desperate to come. They're enjoying it, and I see all that, and I think this is crucial that we arrive with this kind of spirit in the US. Anderson on the challenges Japan will pose. They're a really good side. I think they've been doing really well over the past few years, and they've lost one in 17. So they're definitely a good side. It's going to be a tough game, which I'm looking forward to. We've watched a bit of them in meetings and stuff, so we're definitely expecting a good side, and we'll have to deal with that tomorrow. They've got definitely some dangerous players. They've got Mitoma out on the wing who can cause problems, and they've got some top players across the leagues, and they'll be a good set. On competition for the World Cup, we're all sort of competing with each other, but we're all really good mates within the group, and that's definitely a great balance. The competitiveness is definitely there, and we're really enjoying it. I've got a full season left with Forest, and I've got plenty of games, and there's plenty of time until then. So I've got to keep my standards high and make sure it happens. It's always a big game when you play for England, and I'm looking really forward to it. as you say, it's the last game before the World Cup, so I've just got to try and do what I've been doing. Obviously, we got the World Cup this summer, so all my eyes are on that and playing for England. I've obviously got the England badge on now, so that's all I'm thinking about at the moment. On the spirit of the group, a really good group of players, and really important that we're a really good group of people as well. I think the balance is really good at the moment, and I'm really enjoying coming into camp and speaking to the lads and learning off what they do on the pitch. So it's a really good moment. Japan in profile. Nickname Samurai Blue. Coach Hajime Moriyasu. Captain Wataru Endo. Wataru Endo, who of course is Liverpool. Last encounter, Japan won England 2, international 30th of May 2010, that long ago. UPC Arena. But England came out on top in that one. So, match stats, England are unbeaten in their 3 games against Japan. Beating them 2-1 in both June 1995 in the Uruguay Cup, remember that? And in a May 2010 friendly. While they shared a 1-1 draw in June 2004. An Asian nation has never previously beaten England in 10 attempts, drawn 4, lost 6. This is England's first game against an Asian team since a 6-2 win over Iran in November 2022 at the FIFA World Cup. England have won just 2 of their last 7 friendly matches, drawn 2, lost 3, having won 12 consecutively between 2018 and 2023 beforehand. England have scored in their last 21 matches in all competitions since a 0-0 draw with Slovenia at Euro 2024. It's their longest scoring streak since a 32 game run between 1902 and 1910. Japan are unbeaten in their last 7 matches against European nations in all competitions, 1-6, drawn 1, winning each of their last 3 against Germany, Turkey and Scotland. Indeed, they won 4 in a row twice before in May 2009 and February 2013. 10 of England's last 18 goals have come via set-piece situations. 5 by corners, 3 free kicks and 2 penalties, with 40% of those being scored or assisted by Arsenal players. England's Harry Kane has scored 10 goals across his last 10 international appearances. While he could score 2+ goals in successive matches for the national team for the first time since November 2021, against Albania 3 and San Marino 4. Japan's Junya Ito has 4 goal involvements across his last 3 matches. 1 goal, 3 assists, and could score in successive matches for the national team for the first time since September 2023. Run of 3. Yes, last time out, as I said, Japan won England 2. The Three Lions played their final warm-up game before heading out to South Africa for the World Cup. Yes, remember that. Of course, Steven Gerrard and everything were playing then as well still. I think Lampard as well. Probably Rooney. Head to head. The Three Lions have faced Japan on three occasions, winning 2 of those previous encounters and drawing 1. Last three meetings versus Japan. Japan won, England 2. International 30th of May 2010. 2 own goals ensured England won their final warm-up game before flying out to South Africa for the 2010 World Cup, taking on Japan in Austria in the build-up to the tournament. Well, 2 own goals, so we didn't even score them. So that tells you everything, doesn't it? England won, Japan won international June 2004. Head of Euro 2004 ended in a draw between the two teams at the City of Manchester Stadium as Michael Owen scored for the Three Lions. England 2, Japan 1, international 3rd of June 1995. England and Japan met at Wembley Stadium for their first ever encounter over 3 decades ago in what was known as the Umbro Cup. Remember it well? With Darren Anderson and David Platt scoring the goals for the home team. Oh, Sicknote and Platty, yeah. From the archive, England under 19s? 5, Japan 1. Tammy Abraham, Patrick Roberts, Josh Onamay, and Daniel Crowley made the score sheet for the Young Lions in 2015. So the game tonight is on ITV1, STV, ITVX, and STV Player. Let's move on to another article here. Just want to read some more about, obviously, after that Uruguay game and stuff, there's some more comments. So let's just read that first before I move on about talking a bit more about the Japan game. This is obviously comments on supporters. We'll talk about the players that have dropped out, of course. We'll talk about that in a minute. No chance in the World Cup. We will have no chance in the World Cup because we will turn up with completely exhausted players, most of whom will have played 50 or more games without a break. Yeah, Martin from Guildford there. Definitely right. I agree with that. Get involved. Do not let the truth spoil the narrative. All this talk of Arsenal players withdrawing when Tuchel himself said they were not fully fit and he did not want to risk them. But don't let the truth spoil the narrative. Salim, London. Why is everyone only looking at Arsenal players withdrawing? Yeah. What about all the other teams? Yeah. Media will only push the Arsenal agenda. Danny from Boston. Everybody blaming Arsenal for withdrawing their players has obviously chosen to ignore the words of Tuchel, who clearly stated that they wanted to play and were sent home by the England medical staff after their own assessments. It's not Arsenal withdrawing the players. Jack from Chelmsford. I've got to keep my standards high. Anderson, I've read all that, I think. Might have read that. I've read some of that. Get involved, not sus at all. Majority of Arsenal's first team all withdrawing from internationals, not sus at all. Gary UK. Arsenal withdrawing their players with fake injuries again. Everyone knows they'll all be fit for the next club game. Yeah, the next club game. Yeah. Simple solution is don't pick players who only show interest in the national team when the major tournaments come around and then expect to be the first name on the team sheet. Yeah, exactly. So that's Gary from London. So Arsenal players have withdrawn from multiple national teams. Confidence or Premier League title running. If the latter it's shameful. Yeah. For the latter, it's shameful. Yeah. Paul from Waterlooville. Refreshing from Tuchel, saying here, it's quite refreshing to hear an international manager admit using unfit players in a friendly is a risk he was not willing to take. There are plenty who would pointlessly run them further into the ground without thought of future consequences for both club and country. Kudos for Tommy Tickle. Matt York. We'll be ready for the World Cup. Can't understand why James isn't a lock in midfield. Can't understand why Reece James isn't a lock in midfield. He's played most of the season there, and as an Arsenal fan, was utterly unplayable every time we faced him. Plenty of good players, but James is the only truly world-class partner for Rice. But he's not always fit, though. That's the problem. That's Bill in London. He's not fit, Bill, most of the fucking time. That's the problem, isn't it, Reece James? He may be that great, but he's not fucking fit. So how can he play? Top performance needed to beat Japan. Yeah. No, well, not good enough for England. I still have concerns over Foden, Mainu, Henderson, White and Solanke. They aren't good enough for England. I feel for Trent, Gibbs White, Alex Scott and Welbeck. Yeah. Who have shown more consistency and quality this season. Exactly. I totally agree. I get, they're always overlooked. Players that are on form are always overlooked. I don't get it. Strange. Yeah, not good. England have options away from Kane. Yeah. Rice and Saka desperately wanted to play. Yeah, so England boss Tommy Tickle on Declan Rice and Bukayo Saka. They wanted desperately to play to get the narrative straight. But it made no sense to make the risk. If it was the last game of the season, we would have kept them. But in this moment of the season, it did not make sense. The risk for making it was way too big. They were both clearly in discomfort when we did the medical assessment. It made absolutely no sense no sense that they stayed. On the rest of the players released, Wharton had a little injury, more discomfort than a little injury. Everyone will be out for some days, but not dramatically. Late decision to be made on Stone's pick. Yeah, anyway, let's get back to the Japan one. Yeah, let's go to this one. Right. Yeah. Why England versus Japan is not just another pointless Wembley friendly. England take on Japan at Wembley on Tuesday evening without several key players. In what is their last match before the manager names his 26-player squad for North America. Perhaps Gareth Southgate got out at just the right time. This was meant to be the summer when an England team of abundant young talent fulfilled their promise on the greatest stage. But 2.5 months out, from the 2026 World Cup, the number of England players who are in form, fully fit and genuinely good enough to win a World Cup can be counted on one finger. Harry Kane will lead the team out against Japan at Wembley on Tuesday night. But what will be his 113th cap? But he will not be joined by Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka, Jude Bellingham or John Stones. There will be no Adam Wharton or Noni Madueke, and Phil Foden would appear unlikely too. Injuries have taken their toll. A more cynical take is that this international break is being used more for a break than for internationals. Yep. Thomas Tuchel did acknowledge that it was an odd look for 10 of Arsenal players to withdraw from international squads around the world this week, just before Mikel Arteta's side embark on their treble bid. But he insisted he wasn't upset with Rice or Saka, who have returned to their club. I understand the look of it, Tuchel said, speaking at England's temporary base at Tottenham Hotspur's training ground on Monday. I still have 100% in the honesty of Bukayo and Declan. We did medical tests. I saw them. I have no reason to believe that Declan is not honest with me. I have no reason to believe Bukayo is not honest. But given the amount of Arsenal players, I understand the look. I heard there were camps historically where players did not even show up with boots and stuff like that. And then I understand it becomes like, okay, are we being played here or wherever? And they both came, but they both came. Bukayo did sessions in the gym to really try. Declan had a session together with Jude on the pitch, tried and said it doesn't feel right. Why would I push him? Why would we win from that? Declan's a key player. Bukayo's a key player. Why would I take this risk? Of course, I want them in my team. Of course, I want them to play tomorrow. But this is not the moment to push. On the surface, perhaps it doesn't matter. England are only playing Japan in a friendly. But if, like me, you have erased Friday's draw with Uruguay on your mind on the grounds that it was a third string lineup delivering unwatchable mulch, then this is really the only England match in a 7-month spell between the end of qualifying and Tuchel naming his 26-man squad. There is another reason why the Japan game matters. England have not played a single top 10 nation since Tuchel took charge. Senegal, ranked 14th, are the best opponent Tuchel has faced, when England were soundly beaten. The overall record under the German manager is encouraging. Played 11 games, won 9, draw 1 and lost 1. They won every World Cup qualifying match without conceding a goal, but in that group, it's not surprising. There was an excellent 5-0 win over Serbia, but we are still entitled to wonder, is this England side any good? This is not the fault of Tuchel, who is the behest of the fixture list, who is at the behest of the fixture list he's given. But he surely would have benefited from facing stiffer opposition before launching into a World Cup. It is why this game against Japan, a tricky opponent who deploy wing backs and are ranked 18th in the world by FIFA, is an important and worthwhile exercise, a final marker before the end of the club season and a rare chance for Tuchel's plans to be tested. And yes, it will be difficult to gauge England's true potential with so many key players absent. It points to one of the biggest challenges between now and the end of the season. One entirely out of Tuchel's hands, the physical and psychological demands the players will face as they chase major trophies with their clubs, or in some cases fight to avoid relegation. Workload is a threat, not the biggest one, but it is a threat. Tuchel said it's just a fact, fatigue. It is why the manager chose to give several key players a break over the past week. Elliot Anderson went on holiday to Marbella. The reception to it and feedback from it tells me we did the right thing. And I'm still 100% convinced we will get the benefit from it. now in the match against Japan and later. It tells me the way we built our campaign going into the World Cup is the right thing. England will travel to Florida for warm-up games in the 2 weeks before the World Cup starts. And Tuchel plans for the environment to be relaxed and low-key. It's one training session per day, but it's open for family, friends, and is more of a relaxed atmosphere. Players can go enjoy themselves, and then we have the full focus when we arrive in Kansas, England's World Cup training base. It seems so trivial, but it's so important that they enjoy their football. It's so important that they enjoy their training and being together. It's a lot on them to be on planes and buses and hotels and meeting rooms. And the end of the season for most of them does not come at the end of May. It comes hopefully in the middle of July, and it's a long one. His job increasingly appears to be less about winning football matches and more about managing the minds and bodies of his stars. Of his stars, so that they arrive for the first match against Croatia in one piece. But Tuchel has still never beaten a top 20 ranked nation as England manager. Tuesday night's game represents a chance to do just that. We will not lose our head over these types of statistics. But yeah, teams like France and Spain have real quality. And there is no doubt about how difficult it is to beat those types of teams. I think we are well prepared and on the right way. What is Japan in the world rankings? 18. So we will start tomorrow and try and beat them. Right. Let's go to this one now. Who are the Japan players England should look out for? Japan may not be considered a global footballing powerhouse, but underestimate them at your peril. The Samurai Blue, ranked 18th in the world, have never gone past the last 16 at a World Cup, but stunned two giants in Qatar 4 years ago. With group stage wins over Japan, over Spain and Germany. Brilliant. Yeah, I remember them well. Remember it well. Brilliant, great stuff. Beating those two. They ultimately fell to Croatia on penalties in the knockout stage. But with a wealth of talent at their disposal, could prove tricky opponents at this summer's World Cup in North America. As part of their preparations, Japan face England on Tuesday in a friendly after beating Scotland 1-0. While the Three Lions played out a 1-1 stalemate against Uruguay on Friday. BBC Sport takes a look at the key players Thomas Tuchel's England need to watch out for. Yes, Kaoru Mitoma. He's a good player, very good player. Brighton. Plays for Brighton, of course. Age 28. Position winger and catch 29. Kaoru Mitoma is a name familiar to Premier League fans and has impressed during his 5 years at Brighton, where he has made 130 appearances across all competitions, scoring 26 goals and providing 21 assists. Following a season-long loan at Belgian side Union Saint-Gilloise, Mitoma enjoyed a breakthrough campaign in 2022-23, where he set the record for the most goals scored by a Japanese player in a single English top-flight season, 7. Mitoma has earned a reputation for spectacular goals, and 2 of his 22 Premier League strikes earned him Goal of the Month awards. The winger represented Japan at the 2022 World Cup, coming on as a substitute in all 4 of their matches and scoring the winning goal in the stunning victory over Spain. He did, however, also miss a penalty in the shootout as Japan were knocked out by Croatia in the last 16. Daichi Kamada, Club Crystal Palace, I know he plays there. Age 29, position midfielder, caps 49. Another name familiar to Premier League fans, Daichi Kamada became Crystal Palace's first ever Japanese player when he signed for the club on a free in July 2024. A versatile playmaker, Kamada has been a mainstay in Oliver Glasner's side since his arrival in London, and also played under the Austrian Eintracht Frankfurt. A hamstring injury saw him sidelined for about 8 weeks, midway through this season. But he's likely to play a crucial role for Japan this summer, having started all 4 matches for them at the 2022 World Cup. The FA Cup winner's dribbling strengths and link-up play make him a formidable presence in midfield. Nago Tanaka, Leeds, I know him as well. Club Leeds United, age 27. Position central midfielder, caps 35. Ayo Tanaka quickly became an integral part of the Leeds side, who earned promotion to the Premier League in 2024-25. His first season with the club. He was voted Players Player of the Year by his Leeds teammates and was selected in the Championship Team of the Year as the Whites earned automatic promotion. With 24 appearances and 3 goals this season for Leeds, Tanaka remains an important part of the squad as they battle against relegation. For Japan, Tanaka scored the winning goal against Spain at the 2022 World Cup, a goal that saw his side finish top of the group. He has 9 goal involvements for Japan in 35 appearances. Ritsu Doan. Club Eintracht Frankfurt, age 27, position winger, cap 62. Winger Ritsu Doan is already well known in Japanese football as a man who scored against both Germany and Spain at the 2022 World Cup. He came on as a substitute in both group matches and equalised before his side went on to win on both occasions. A dynamic left-footed attacking midfielder, Doan is known for his technical skill and an ability to cut inside. Hiroki Ito, Bayern. Sort of know him as well. Club Bayern Munich, age 26. Position defender, caps 21. Defender Hiroki Ito joined German giants Bayern Munich in 2024, but has since been plagued by injuries and missed significant chunks of both this and last season. He has started just 8 matches and come on as a substitute in 9 more. But with Ajax defender Takehiro Tomiyasu, formerly of Arsenal, of course, out of Japan's friendlies because of a hamstring injury, there are gaps to be plugged in defence. Ito featured just once in Japan's last World Cup campaign, but could find himself in demand depending on the status of Tomiyasu's injury. And also, don't forget, of course, Maeda from Celtic, another good player, great player, midfielder. Is he a midfielder or striker? I'm not really sure. But I know he's class player from Celtic. We were obviously linked with him, Brentford, trying to get him at one stage. So Maeda is another good player to watch out for. And this is the last sort of article I'm going to talk about as well. England 11 versus Japan, predicted lineup, confirmed team news and injury latest for international friendly. Thomas Tuchel's plans for tonight's friendly against Japan have been complicated after the England squad was hit by further dropouts. Declan Rice, Bukayo Saka and Noni Madueke have returned to Arsenal for medical assessments, while John Stones has also withdrawn. Jude Bellingham will also skip the game against Japan, having only just returned from injury, but remains with the squad and has been training. It is far from ideal for Tuchel ahead of what is the final England friendly before he names his 26-man squad for the World Cup. But their departures present opportunities for other players to impress, as Tuchel finalises his plans for next summer. Captains Harry Kane, Mark Gahey and Elliot Anderson are among Tuchel's most trusted players who have joined up with the squad and will play after missing Friday's 1-1 draw with Uruguay when an experimental side struggled at Wembley. Adam Wharton, Aaron Ramsdale, Fikayo Tomori and Dominic Calvert-Lewin have also dropped out, and the revised 27-man squad is preparing to face Japan. John Pickford will return in goal, and Dan Burn, Mark Gahey and Ezri Konsa have joined the squad and are in line to start in defence, though Tino Livramento is an option at right back. Nico Riley is set to start left back, fresh from his heroics for Man City in a Carabao Cup final win over Arsenal last weekend. With Rice missing, James Garner is in line for another opportunity in midfield, alongside Anderson after looking at home on the England stage against Uruguay. Jordan Henderson was not part of training on Monday, and as he followed his own individualised programme indoors at Tottenham's training ground, making him a doubt. Saka's absence could present a chance for Jared Bowen, but Tuchel could try Cole Palmer on the right. Morgan Rogers looks poised to start in the number 10 role, with Gordon set for a start on the left and Kane up front. Ben Shite, who scored, conceded a penalty and was booed against Uruguay on his first appearance since leaving the 2022 World Cup early, could get another chance to impress from the bench. It remains to be seen if Phil Foden features against Japan after he struggled at number 10 against Uruguay and was forced off after a bad tackle from Ronald Araujo, who should have been sent off, let's be honest. Predicted England 11, 4-2-3-1, Pickford, Konsa, Burn, Gahey, O'Reilly, Anderson, Garner, Bowen, Rogers, Gordon and Kane. Out is Bellingham, Rice, Saka, Madueke, Calvert-Lewin, Tomori, Ramsdale, Wharton. Doubt, Jordan Henderson. So there it is, of course, tonight, 7:45, Wembley Stadium, ITV1 and ITVX. So there we go. That's all the articles. So let's see, let's look at some more comments. Got loads of comments, I think, still. I haven't read yet, and then talk about it a bit more. Yeah. That clown of a commentator claiming Uruguay player should have been sent off. Absolute nonsense. Should have been sent off. Right. Is that the one who got the 2 yellows or something? Was rescinded? Probably the one you mean. FIFA set the international breaks and not the FA. Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Yeah, but FIFA ain't got a fucking clue either, let's be honest. So yeah, hi, be up to you, Luca. Hope you're good, mate. The reason the breaks is because of the World Cup playoff games and because of warm-up games for the World in June. World Cup in June. It has also been like this. Right. Luca again, for me, England, right, doing this internationals now. People complain about us pulling out. What the point doing an international break? It's a joke. Yeah. Yeah. It's down to FIFA, not England, Luca. Arsenal should have a points deduction for pulling their players out. Clubs have to release their players. Yeah, if they are called up for international duty, stop listening to talk shite radio, Luca. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. I will just put the link in if anyone does want to come on. I'll put it there. I'm only going to be on here a little while longer. What is it? 2 hours 31. So I will be going at some stage. I will bounce in a little while. But yeah, the link's there. If anyone does want to come on and talk about England, talk about the England-Japan game or the Uruguay game or whatever, wants to go into anything with that, or the squad, or what they think of it all, the way it's going under Tommy Tickle. If you're happy with it, the players you think probably should have played, because there are plenty of players that should have come in. Danny Welbeck, for sure, overlooked once again on goal scoring form, playing brilliantly, still overlooked. Ollie Watkins, obviously, another one, sort of overlooked, discarded. Ivan Toney, another one, forgotten about. There's so many that, probably could have played. And they've just been overlooked again. So I just think this guy doesn't give a shit. He's there for his money. Why does a German guy, care about England? Why does he give a shit? He's not going to win us a World Cup, not in a million years. For me, I don't know why he's manager. I still don't know. I'd rather have Eddie Howe all day long as England manager. So for me, this is just pathetic, and I still don't get it. It still means nothing. I don't get it at all. And they shouldn't be doing this. No, I don't understand. And this Uruguay game, I mean, against a bunch of thugs. They always have been thugs, let's be honest. Always want to kick players. They don't want to play football. That was a wrong game to do. Wrong, terrible game. Nobody wanted to get hurt. Foden was lucky not to have a broken leg or ankle or whatever after that tackle. And that referee was an absolute joke. Don't know where they got him from. Should never referee a game ever again. Absolute fucking diabolical joke. That was pointless exercise for England in the end. Didn't work out. The audition, only really one or two done anything. I don't know, what did we learn? Nothing much, I'm afraid. But anyway, I'm going to bring Warren on. He's here, so I'll bring him on and talk about it a bit more, find out his opinion on it. Big up, buddy. Hope you're well. Hope you're good, mate.
Yeah, good, mate. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. I've got a little bit of a funny throat, actually. It's a little bit tickly and a little bit, rough. But other than that, I'm not too bad. Bit pissed off with this football, England and stuff again. Fucking do me head in, to be honest, yet again. But what's your opinions on it? What do you think about it?
For a start, I want to address this stuff that's been discussed in the chat about players being pulled out. of international squads. I think that needs looking into. I think FIFA needs to take action because you can't do it. If a player's been called up for international duty, you have to release them. End of story. You can't stop them from going. So why, like, a certain club is now withdrawing all their players from international duty? If I was the FA, I would slap a ban on them. Like, I would, no, not sorry, it's not slap a ban, make a points deduction on the club that's doing it. Minimum 3 points, right? Because all those players they've withdrawn, I can guarantee you 100% they'll be fit and available for action the next game that they play.
Yeah.
Right? The thing about the scheduling of the international break, the reason it's now is because there's playoff games that need to be played for the World Cup. And also we've got a World Cup in 3 months. So all these fucking clowns sitting in the chat, and the biggest one of all is Luca, I'm afraid to say, going on about, well, why are they doing it now? Well, fuck it, it's because they have to, because they've got a World Cup coming up. So stop listening to fucking Talk Sport, because this is where he's fucking getting it from. That fucking radio station, along with YouTube, should be fucking banned, in my opinion, because it's a breeding ground for this fucking delusional fucking nonsense that these people come out with. It is like you get these fucking idiotic fucking clowns sitting there with a big platform spouting all this fucking bollocks. And it is bollocks, Steve. Do you know what I mean? Like, going on about, oh, well, why are they doing this now? Why are they doing... Well, fucking do some research and fucking educate yourself. It's fucking nonsense on fucking stilts. Like, these fucking idiots ain't got the fucking brains they were born with. Right? Now, on to the football. Now, this is where I think you might get a bit upset, right? For a start, you're 100% right. Uruguay have always been very robust with their challenges. That's the most diplomatic way to put it. Like, they've always have been. And they're master of the dark arts. They're like European and South American version of Italy, right? But it is that sort of carry on. It's very common in South America, right? I'm not casting dispersion on South American countries, but it is. Right? At the end of the day, it's part of their culture, that win at all cost mentality, right? So I sort of understand why it is, right? And it's because the way their countries are structured and whatnot, because basically there's no welfare state. So if you don't work, you don't eat. So you either have to go out begging or you just die. That's the end of it. So the way out of that is football, because it's a big payday, right? So that when they play football, it's like a win at all costs mentality. And if that includes kicking people up in the air, then they consider it fair game. They don't really see what the issue is with it, right? Now, as far as that game is concerned, I've watched the highlights, Steve.
What highlights?
I didn't see anything particularly outrageous about their tackling. I don't think that guy should have been that free kick that, like, the people were claiming that the fella should have been sent off for. I didn't see anything wrong with the challenge, let alone a booking or a sending off. Like, we see worse than that in the Premier League every Saturday, right? And people were allowed to get away with it. England were lucky they didn't concede a penalty. That was a nailed-on penalty. right? As far as I'm concerned, it was fucking clear as day. So I don't know, man. I'm not convinced. I just think it was another piss poor England performance under this manager. Not that I'm particularly bothered about it. I think it's fucking hilarious, if I'm being quite honest. Right? England being managed by a German, I fucking love it because all these fucking EDL and fucking Adolf Farage supporting fucking people wrapping themselves up in the George Cross of the Union Jack. They must fucking hate it. And I fucking love it. Because, like, these supporters, they're not fucking supporters. They're not. They're just fucking there pushing this fucking narrative. Right? It's just fucking bullshit. I want them fucking out. And I just think it's funny because that these people, if you ask them what countries, if you ask them to name the top 3 countries in the world that they'd hate, top of the list would be the Germans, then it'd be the Argentinians, and then it'd be my lot. That would be it. Because that is the way it is. And to have someone managing you, like a German, I just think it's fucking hilarious. And the thing is, Steve, he was washed up a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's no surprise to me that he's not getting this team to perform. And the other thing is, why is he playing Henderson?
Yeah, that's what I see. I don't know that. I understand that either.
It makes no fucking sense to me. The geezer's 36 years old.
By the way, Warren,
it's not like he's pulling up trees and he's a fucking like one of the best players in the world. If he was something like Lionel Messi, okay, I'd sort of go, yeah, all right. But not fucking Henderson. No. If they haven't got anyone else that they can play in that position who's like 25, 26 years old, they're in fucking serious trouble. In my opinion.
I don't understand it myself. By the way, Warren, you famously had Bertie Vogts as a manager at Scotland.
Yeah, I know. But we're not fucking keep singing about the fucking Second World War at every opportunity, were we? Do you know what I mean? It's like...
He wasn't a success either, was he?
No, he wasn't. But that's not the point I'm making. The point I'm making is that England have got this fucking huge fan base that think that anything that's foreign is shit.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And like they think they're the fucking master race. And it's not the fucking case. And like it's just a fucking shambles as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I just don't understand what they're trying to achieve by having this man in charge. I agree with you. It should be Eddie Howe. If they want to get that team kicking, I reckon they should go for Eddie Howe. I think he's a top quality manager. He's tactically astute. Yes, they're not doing well in the Premier League at the minute. But I don't think that's got anything to do with him. I think there's something going on at that club. It just doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's a good manager and all, but if he does get sacked there, I mean, thing is now Tuchel's got that contract. They can't put him for England now, can they?
No.
Surely. That's the problem. I would put him in straight away if he was sacked now. I'd put him in for England now, but can't do it. Can't do it now. So, be up to you, Ryan, there. Be up Mr. B and Warren. Yeah, be up to you. Wolves fan, yeah.
Oh, sorry, I thought he was a Bees fan.
No, Wolves. No, that other guy, he was on yesterday, I think. Rick, I think. He was in here yesterday. He might be in here again today, the Bees fan. But Tuchel plays the same football as Gareth Sedative. Absolute dross.
It is. It's shit. But it's like 90% of the Premier League play exactly the same way. it's boring and it's negative. That's why I don't watch it, Steve. It just like makes me want to go to sleep.
Yeah.
It's fucking dog shit. I don't understand why anyone wants to watch it. I really don't. Because like they're not going to win the World Cup. The Premier League is fucking slipping badly.
Dead.
It's not going to win none of the clubs are going to win the Champions League. Do you know what I mean? The standard of the football is fucking shocking. I don't know. I'm just not impressed.
No, it's gone to shit, mate. It really has. And as Warren says, gone down the drain. Ryan, sorry. Down the drain last 10 years, Yeah,
it has. But my question is, if they've got all this money, if the FA have received all this money for the TV rights for the Premier League, what have they fucking done with it all? How come they're not pumping it in to developing young players? Because clearly they're not doing it. Do you know what I mean? Where's the young talent coming from? You got people like Eze and people like that getting starts for England. 5-10 years ago, that kid wouldn't have even got anywhere near the England team. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Would he have got in him at his peak? Would he have got in the England team ahead of David Beckham?
No.
Well, there you go. That's my point. Do you know what I mean? The standard has dropped so fucking far that, like, these players, they're just not good enough, Steve.
No,
they're not cut it at international level. They're over fucking hyped. England are going to struggle in that World Cup, and if they don't, it'll be because the opposition they're up against are as fucking dross as what they are.
It's not down to the heat as well. It won't be just down to the heat. It's, you know, how good or bad they are, really. And as you say, the opposition, because the opposition will be, some of them will be used to that heat, wouldn't they? The South Americans are used to it.
It's got nothing to do with heat, Steve. It's to do with the fact that these players are shit. They're not good enough. They are mediocre at best, Steve. They would not get in the England team when Beckham was playing. Do you know what I mean? The days of the golden generation are long gone. They're not going to win the World Cup. They're not good enough. When Harry Kane hangs his boots up, England are going to be in serious trouble.
Yeah.
Because who's going to score the goals?
Nobody there looks likely to replace him, I don't think. Solanke, why? I don't understand that. Calvert-Lewin, no. Pathetic, he was as well.
Calvert-Lewin, he's playing for Leeds United. Nothing against Leeds United, but like there's umpteen players in the Premier League have scored more goals than what he has, but not one of them is English. Harry Wilson is the top striker
Welsh. He's Welsh.
from the UK leagues in the goal scoring charts for the Premier League.
But he plays for Welsh.
Do you know what I mean? It's not looking good. And this is why I keep banging on about youth player development. Right? They're just not interested. All they're interested in is making money. These clubs are not interested in winning trophies.
No.
All they're interested in is selling the fucking merch. The football clubs are just a fucking front for the merchandise. The merchandise is the main objective here. Getting people through the turnstiles. And that is it. They're not interested in like winning trophies. And at some point, in a not too distant future, it's going to collapse. Because people are going to realise they're getting fucking hoodwinked. At the moment, it's all fucking, a lot of them inside the grounds are fucking tourists.
Yeah.
Particularly in the London clubs. Right? The London clubs are like, because London is a massive tourist attraction in itself. Right? So therefore, like, it's part of the fucking package that these people get when they come here. Go to the London Eye, go to the Tower of London, go to the London Dungeon, go to Buckingham Palace, all this stuff, and then thrown into it as well. Go and watch Arsenal Premier League match. I think, oh yeah, I'll have some of that. Do you know what I mean? Or go to, if they might be on a tour of England or something, they get a game, go to see Manchester United or Liverpool thrown into the mix.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, these clubs are not interested, because the reason they're not interested is they get tourists turn up. Some of these countries, they've got way more disposable income than we have.
Yeah.
They're able to go in the club shop and spend £400 or £500 plus on merchandise. If a fan goes, like a season ticket holder, they may not even go in the club shop. They might just go get a program, buy something, a burger or something, hot dog from the burger stand, maybe buy a cup of coffee, but that'd be it. Do you know what I mean? They're not, and this is why I think where the problem lies, because these clubs are not interested in being like winning trophies. And like, I kept saying it about this fucking Kroenke fella. When he came to Arsenal and bought the club, he said wasn't interested in winning trophies. That's a fucking massive red flag to me. Massive red flag. I don't think if he would realise what he was saying, he wouldn't have said it. Because like, it tells you everything about what's going on. And like, have a look how many clubs in the Premier League have got American owners. Because I bet you every club's got an American owner has probably got the same attitude towards it.
But Palace have, haven't they? They got an American owner, I think.
Yeah, but they're not going to be interested in winning trophies. None of them. I want them out. I really want them, all of them, fucking outed. Right? Because they have not got the best interests of the club at heart. I think they need to re-examine that fit and proper persons thing. Where when a new owner buys a football club, they have to go through this test to make sure that they're a fucking sensible person to be a proper person to be running a football club. Because half of these fuckers aren't, mate.
No.
All right, they need to be able to show that they've got a real affiliation to the club that they're trying to buy into. They need to show and prove and give evidence for the fact that they want the club to be successful on the pitch.
Yeah.
Because I just don't think that, like, honestly, if you sat down, Stan Kroenke or Josh Kroenke, and gave them a fucking written test to do about the history of Arsenal, I'm just using Arsenal because that's the one I know about. Yeah. If you gave them a test, a written test, right, about the history of Arsenal, my guess is that they would struggle to get more than about 20%. Like, it's a fucking shambles.
Yeah.
These people should not be allowed to have ownership of football clubs in the Premier League.
No. No, it should be about the ones who want to come and win stuff.
Well, yeah, like famous people who, like people with big fucking incomes who are supporters of the club. Like, so for example, in the case of Celtic, Billy Connolly. Or, I don't know.
Rod Stewart's involved with what? Is he involved with Stewart?
But then also, like Liverpool, like, I don't know. I don't know, I'm struggling to think of like people who, like famous people who support football clubs.
Well, you got, it's like Wrexham. Ryan Reynolds and all that. You got Wrexham, Ryan Reynolds and all that at
Well,
Wrexham.
yeah, is he a Wrexham fan? Like he's a fucking Hollywood actor, isn't he?
Yeah, but look at the success he's got there since he's been there. What he's put into the club.
Yeah, wants to get see what happens when they get in the Premier League, Steve.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
he wants to get that club in the Premier League so it gets the fucking worldwide coverage that a Premier League club it does, because they ain't getting it in the Championship, right? As soon as they get in the Premier League, they'll be able to attract tourists and everything. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? They're not going to do that in the Championship. So, have the Bees got any like real big celebrity fans?
Well, I think I've already told you that we got invested Matthew Vaughan, not Michael, Matthew, and we got Claudia Schiffer, his wife. They're both investors in Brentford. So, yeah, we have got. I think they both support. Well, I know Matthew Vaughan supports Brentford, so he does support us as well. So yeah.
So I mean, this people like that are the people you want being owners of the club. Like either as like a group of them in a consortium or on their own. I just think there's too much fucking money in these Premier League clubs, and it's not conducive to like making the club successful. Yeah. Because the problem is, Steve, most of that fucking money they've got coming in through the TV revenue has been wasted. Like pissed it up the wall, to be one of a better expression, because they're not spending it on the development of the club. They're not spending it on making it a better experience for fans. Do you know what I mean? Like, fucking the state of fucking Old Trafford. Like, fucking falling apart at the seams. How's that been allowed to happen? How's the fucking... How is it the fucking...
Stadium, that was amazing stadium.
Yeah, but how is it that Ronaldo rocked up there for his second stint and said that nothing had changed at the training ground? When the fucking Premier League is getting like almost £1.8 billion a season for TV money. How has that happened? Like, the ground is fucking falling apart. It's fucking leaking. The roof is leaking. How is it the Emirates Stadium hasn't had a fucking lick of paint? Like, since the fucking Cronkies got their hand on it. Do you know what it's like? How is it there's no fucking up-and-coming players? For that amount of money, I'd be expecting to see world-class talent getting developed.
Yeah, you're supposed to have a top development.
World-class players, and it's just not happening.
You got that Howell End mob, isn't it? The Howell End development.
What have they actually produced? What has it produced, Steve?
Well, you got Saka.
Jack Wilshere was fucking injury prone. God bless him. He might have been a top player if he managed to stay clear of injuries. But there's nothing.
Smith Rowe as well? No, not really.
Well, Smith Rowe's okay. He's a decent player, but he's not. He was destroyed by Arteta, and that's another issue. Do you know what I mean? He was destroyed by Arteta, which is quite ironic given the fact that it was down to Smith Rowe and Saka that he's still in a job. Because if it hadn't have been for them, he would have been sacked.
Yeah.
Because before they came into the team, let's not forget Arsenal were fucking struggling at about 15th in the Premier League. Couldn't fucking score a goal. And he pushed them two into the team, and they started banging for him.
Yeah.
So I just very concerned about it, mate, because they're not fucking. That money's been wasted. They should have been spending it on making the match day experience better for the fans, investing in the youth development. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that when they go to these tournaments, they put in proper performances, not fucking struggling to beat the likes of fucking Serbia 1-0. And I'm sorry, that's embarrassing. It really is embarrassing. For a country of the financial backing that England have, that are unable to compete with other major powers in European football at these tournaments. Right, you look at England's record, right, against the major powers in world football in the last 20 years. It's fucking shocking.
Yeah.
When was the last time they beat the French? When was the last time they beat Spain? When was the last time they beat Italy? It's
hard to remember.
It's fucking, and this is the problem. Where is the talent that's coming through? Where's the replacement for Harry Kane? Where's the world-class striker to replace Harry Kane? He's not there. There isn't anyone. And it's because they've pissed the money up the wall, Steve.
Yeah.
Like buying these fucking players from God knows where, and like they ain't all that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I just think that they need to have a massive reset and really think about what they're doing, because they're in an ideal position to fucking dominate world football, and they're not doing it because that money is being wasted, or it's going into places that we really don't want to know about.
Yeah. Yeah, as you say, where's the chance for the youth players now? I mean, people will say about, is it Dowman, obviously the 16-year-old at Arsenal, coming through now, looks good. Got a lot of talent. Obviously, we got some talented youngsters coming. We got our own development, group there, youth development.
I'm not convinced that that's fucking legal, playing a 15-year-old kid. Because there's laws in this country about employment law, which says you're not allowed to employ 15-year-olds.
Yeah.
Like, you cannot be employed until you're 16 years of age. So, or is this just another case of football just ignoring standard employment law?
How old was Saka when he started there?
Who?
How old was Saka? Was he?
I think he was about 18, 19, something like that. He certainly weren't 15, mate. Okay. Do you know what I mean? And that needs to be investigated. Because for me, it's child abuse.
Yeah. Probably.
Well, it is, isn't it? You can't. If you had a shop and you were employing a 15-year-old, fucking trading standards would be all over you like a rash. Do you know what I mean? It's it's not acceptable. Do you know what I mean? Why is it that football is allowed to ride roughshod over fucking the law of the land? You can't do it. So I want it investigated because it is child abuse. Do you know the guy's a 15-year-old lad?
Yeah.
And he's not matured properly as an adult.
Well, he's 16, he'll be 17, and he's turning 17 soon, I think. Max Dowman. I think they said, he must be living the dream, though, as well, let's be honest.
Well, yeah, he probably thinks it's wonderful. He's getting these matches for Arsenal and whatnot, and fair play to him. But it is illegal, Steve. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
You cannot employ underage kids.
Mm.
And then, like, I don't know. I just think it needs looking into because I just think it's wrong, all of it. Like this business about managers fucking getting sacked. If they get sacked for poor performance, why are they getting a massive payout? Like if you or I were working somewhere and we got sacked for poor performance,
Yeah.
you wouldn't get a fucking big payout.
No, I know. I know.
Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't. So why are these fucking clowns at these football clubs getting it?
Mm. I mean, you got that with Tudor going, but that's because of his father passing away as well, I think, why he left.
Well, maybe that's the way forward then. We
Deservedly.
apply for these fucking jobs at football clubs, right? After a couple of weeks, they realise that we're not fucking up to the job and they sack us. I'll be going, right, okay, so you employed me on a 2-year contract. I want my contract paid up then.
Yeah.
So if it's good enough for Igor Tudor, well, it's not. Why is it not good enough for me?
Yeah, well, they're looking to get De Zerbi in now, aren't they? Spurs, and that could cost them a lot.
There. It'd be fucking mental if he went
Yeah.
there.
Who wants
He's
to,
gonna
mate?
fucking go. They're not going to get another manager. They're going to end up having to employ someone from the backroom staff.
Oh.
Take it. Remember that was it Ryan Mason or whatever his fucking name was, who took over for a while, and he did a fairly good job to him. Fairly good job for him, if I remember rightly.
Yeah, Daniel, you shouldn't have your son watching, mate. He's only 5. I mean, there's a lot of swearing we do on here. I'm afraid it's
Well, it's
just
a
something I
YouTube
do.
channel. We're not the BBC, mate.
But yeah, I'm sorry, mate, because I know you are a Bees fan as well. But obviously, it might be best if he doesn't watch. You know, I'm sorry, because I try not to swear too much, but I can't help it most of the time. It does me head in, mate, and I can't help swearing. So
yeah, but at the end of the day, Daniel, this is a YouTube channel. It's not. It's not the BBC or the ITV. Do you know what I mean? This is like punk rock television. Do you know what I mean? This is what you're going to get.
I mean, there are some channels that don't swear, you know, or don't have the policy of not swearing.
Because they're journalists, Steve. We're not.
Oh, he likes me, but yeah, that's all right, mate. But I mean, the thing is, right? I can't help swearing. That's the problem. I mean, I probably don't do it as much as some people do. It's jeffing all the time on some of them, but you know, I have to swear a bit because I have to get out my frustration, especially in my own team, my own sort of manager, and England, of course, as well. So, you know, I can't help it sometimes. So, unfortunately, I will swear. That's why I put this out, as it's not for family. It's not for, you know, the whole family, for kids and stuff. Really, it's mainly for adults. You know, this sort of thing. But yeah, I am sorry. I'm sorry if he's offended by it all. You know, maybe best to stop him watching. Really, I think that's the best idea. I will try and do one without swearing at some stage if I can.
It's a bit weird, mate, because he can like put on any. If he's watching YouTube, that means he can go and watch any video that anyone's put out at any point.
Yeah.
Right? He's not moderated by their age.
No.
There's no like age restriction. The only thing is when you make the video, you can say it's aimed at children.
Yeah, I think I put on there. I did put that it's mainly for adults.
No, exactly. So, but the problem is that kid's got a YouTube account. He can click on any video that he wants to, right? So, to like start complaining about people swearing, I just think it's a
I'm
bit
sorry,
weird.
Daniel. Apologise, mate. I'm sorry he's upset. But as Warren's saying, you shouldn't really have an account. Well, not for watching this sort of thing. I think you have got there is a kids special YouTube thing on there you should have. The kids player thing on YouTube. Really, you should, watch that sort of thing, really. But I think when you get to like maybe teenage, middle, later stages of teenage, it's fine. It's not so bad. But kids are, exposed to it nowadays. Let's be honest. All this swearing, violence, whatever, sex, whatever. They're all exposed to it. Let's be honest, most of them. So
The thing is, like I said, Steve, kids can like click on any video that they want to, and that video could have all sorts in it, far worse than like us two swearing.
Yeah, it's not worse.
I'm sorry, but birds stripping on channels. No, but I'm serious, Steve. Like, to Minder and that, but Terry was always in bed with some woman or whatnot.
Yeah, I see that on there now, and you still see all that, the stripping and some naked thing, So I thought, what does it matter? I mean, back in the day, there was nothing wrong with it anyway, was there? I mean, it was on telly most of the time, all that stuff, 70s, 80s. You got all
like
that.
Netflix and all these sorts of things. Like, I don't know if there's age restrictions on that, but if they've got access to an adult account, then they're going to see everything that it don't matter. They won't be able to. Yeah. I just think that is a bit of a red herring, mate, to be honest with you.
I think you hear them effing and jeffing out in the street anyway now, kids. Whatever age, they're swearing. I don't like it myself, but that is the way they're exposed to it too much, too easily nowadays. James, right? Right.
So who's James then? Who's this James character?
Because
clearly it's not his son, because a 5-year-old would not be able to type that.
No. He might be putting it in for him. He might be typing it in for him. I don't know. Well, I think you should. Yeah, he's my son. Yeah, but I think maybe if he is offended by it, he shouldn't really be watching. And if you want get him to leave, but I mean, I will try and do better. I won't swear as much or something in the future, but I can't guarantee it. I'm afraid. Okay. Yeah. So maybe best if he doesn't watch. I know he obviously likes the channel. He likes me doing this, but and it's good that I've got fans like him as well. But at the end of the day, he's too young. He's obviously 5. So that's all right. No, there's not a lot you can do, mate. Sorry, yeah, that's all right. Don't worry about it. He's I'm sure there are other young ones. I've seen them go on other channels. Like we talk about Luca, he's had young kids on his, young boys and that. About I don't know, what would they be, 13 or something, 10 or whatever. He's had them on. So I said, well, no, I didn't agree with that. Him having them on there, and some of them are swearing as well when they go on there.
Well, there you go. I've just sent you a private message, Steve. I've given you my thoughts about it in the private message. Yeah. I don't want to discuss it on here.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, mate. No worries. But yeah, I do apologise for it, but there we go. It's how it is. I can't, I try not to do it, but unfortunately, it's like an everyday occurrence sometimes. Especially when you hurt yourself, you go, "Oh, effing hell," whatever else, it happens, and we can't, we haven't got a filter to stop it, sometimes. So, I apologise, but anyway. Hope you're still enjoying it. Anyway, Daniel, hope you're enjoying the stream yet again. I thought it's been quite good. I think I started what time did I start? About 12:30. I actually got here on time as well, Warren.
You've been going 3 hours, 15 minutes so far, Steve. So you've done well today, mate.
Yeah, and I done it on time as well today. Got it on time for a change. So, I've been here a long while, but I want to get something to eat in a little while, to be honest. So, a bit Hank Marvin now, but yeah, I've enjoyed it, mate. And talking about England, wanted to rant a bit about England again. So, wasn't great on Friday. It was like watching paint dry. Really, that match. Didn't like it. I think tonight's one will be better. I think there'll be more entertainment. I think
they're going to be a real handful for England, Steve, because they're a good side. They've got lots of good players.
Yeah, they have. They're a good team, Japan, and they beat Scotland, of course, 1-0 the other day.
Yeah, and there should have been more. It should. We were awful.
You were actually.
I'm sorry, but I've got serious doubts about Clark as a manager. I think that squad of players that he's got, he should be doing better.
Yeah. He's too defensive.
The only issue we're struggling with is a centre-back and a clinical goal scorer. If that could be addressed, then we'd be a fucking handful. Right? Yeah. But it's not. And no, I'm not going to go into it, mate, because we'll be here for another 3.5 hours.
Yeah, no. I don't want to be here too much longer, Warren, to be honest. But my score prediction 2-1. What's that for England? I take it. Yeah. So, 2-1.
I don't agree, mate. I think it'll either be a 1-1 or I think Japan will win. Because I just don't think that England team is all that. I don't rate the defence. I don't rate the midfield set. Maybe Rice is okay. And if Kane gets injured, I don't know where the goals are coming from.
No. Well, I think you should have picked Danny Welbeck and whatever. I keep saying that. People that scoring,
How old is he? And he's like, would he get a game playing for one of Europe's elite clubs? I don't think he would.
But he's scoring, Warren. He's on form. Well, why do you ignore those? Why do you ignore them sort of players?
Yeah, but is he good enough to play international football?
But
do you know what I mean? Like, would he get a game playing for Real Madrid, AC Milan, fucking Bayern Munich? Because I don't think he would get in their teams.
Yeah, but he's like one of the better strikers we've got in England at the moment in our league. It's nothing.
Look at the goal scoring lists, right? He's way down the list. I think he's about 8th or 9th in the goal scoring lists.
Yeah,
is he better than Thiago, Steve? Would you?
But Thiago's not English.
Or Thiago?
Thiago's not English, Warren.
Yeah, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about Brentford. Who would you rather have leading the line, Thiago or Danny Welbeck?
At the moment, probably Thiago with 19 goals. I mean, you can't argue with that, can you?
Exactly, goals. And that is my point. You've got all these players, right, who have scored way more goals than what he has. Didn't it, the amount of money that's been pumped into this bloody league, that they shouldn't be sitting here talking about a player like Danny Welbeck. I mean, Christ, he must be in his 30s by now, Steve.
I think he's about 36, 37, something
Well,
like
there
that.
you go. This is what I'm talking about. It's another one. It's like fucking Dad's Army.
But he's scored a lot of goals. I mean, Harry Kane's 30 odd, isn't he? Was he 31?
Yeah, you've
2,
got
whatever?
3 players there, just off the bat, that are in their 30s. Henderson, Welbeck and Kane. And they're going into an environment where it's going to be fucking searing hot. It's going to be massively humid. How are they going to cope? Particularly if they come up against a team, I don't know, like Japan, that are used to playing in that sort of climate.
Not high intensity.
It's not looking good, Steve. I'm sorry, mate, but it ain't.
No, I know. I know it's not. I'll be up to you again, Steph. Thanks for coming back. I know you were here earlier in the live chat, so good. Hello to you again.
I'm sorry, but if you'd watched that video of mine, you would see the list of leading goal scorers, the list of assisters, and the English players are like 8th, 9th, or 10th in the list. It's a myth on stilts to suggest that England have got all these fantastic world-class players. Because they haven't. Because if they have, where are they? Because they're not like appearing on any of these fucking lists. They're not like creating loads of assists. They're not scoring loads of goals. Tops of these charts are Haaland, Thiago.
All foreign players, all foreigners.
Well, exactly, that's my point. So, but
you said Harry Wilson.
Money that the FA are getting for the TV rights for the Premier League, why is it not going in to developing systems to develop young players? Like these countries out there, Steve, population of 5 million, like for example, let's talk about Croatia, right? A country like Croatia has got population roughly the same size as Ireland and Scotland. Yet consistently, they're getting to World Cup semi-finals and finals. Right, producing players like Luka Modric, Davoshuka, Slaven Bilic, Alossia Stanovic, Boban. The list goes on, mate. It's not flash in the pan. They've been doing this for over 30 years. Consistently, right? So they must be doing something right with the development of their young players, because then their national economy ain't all that. They keep producing these players over and over and over again. It's not an accident. Right? You know, the big fella upstairs, when the kid's like in its mother's womb, just because it so happens to get born in whatever country it's born into, doesn't determine whether or not it's going to be a good footballer or not. It's determined by the coaching that these kids receive from a young age. And the coaching in this country, in the UK in general, I'm talking about, and in Ireland, is piss poor. In fact, probably the best coaching that kids receive in the whole of the UK and Ireland is probably in Ireland, because of the way that the youth setup is set up there. Because they're coached properly. Albeit, they went through a tricky spell, but that was because some guy went on a massive, fraudulent, illegal money laundering operation and siphoning off money for himself. It was shocking, mate. If you want to learn about it, and I'm sure that if the Sunderland fan is in the chat, he'll agree with me.
Okay, well, I think I don't use
Delaney. the guy should be sitting in a prison cell, mate. It's shocking. But yeah, so I just don't understand all this hype, mate. It's nonsense. The reason why it is because of radio stations like TalkSport and Sky Sports, who are paying like people to hype up this league and this thing.
It's overrated. Yeah.
It's massively overrated. You get these idiots on TalkSport like that, Jason Cundy and that Jamie O'Hara talking absolute crap.
Bollocks,
and it is crap. I just wish people would stop listening to it.
Exactly, yeah.
I really do, because it's the only way they're going to stop is if people stop listening to it. Because it's rubbish and it's nonsense. None of it is based in reality. It's just delusion on stilts. It really is it's just absolutely nonsensical nonsense.
Exactly, yeah. It is, mate. Yeah. Totally, 100%. But regarding the game tonight, who would you put out there? I mean, for me, it's got to be a better team than it was the other day. It's not going to be an experimental team, is it? Like we had the other day against Uruguay. I mean,
what he's aiming to do. If he wants to build up some momentum before the tournament starts, like getting a bit of winning momentum going.
Divorce. Yeah. He said I might be getting a divorce. Daniel saying on here because his wife hates England, so he might be getting a divorce.
Why might you get? Oh right. Well, she's got her head screwed on, right? That's what I'm saying. Because it's rubbish, right?
Yeah, she's right. She's got the right idea.
Honestly, it depends what he's trying to achieve, Steve. He's either, if he wants to build up a momentum, he needs to play his strongest team against this mob, because they're no mugs, mate. They will test England to the limit. If he puts out an experimental team, with youngsters, they will get turned over 100%. He needs to
slapped up. Yeah. They get slapped, wouldn't they? Slapped
they
up.
will.
Yeah.
But it depends. But if he experiments, then I don't know. I'm not convinced.
Yeah, it's good because half of them didn't do anything the other day, did they? Half of them players. I think Cole Palmer was great when he came on, and he's half fit, I think, and he's sort of done the best sort of stuff when he came on.
To the same questions that they had in the Euros, is it the players or is it the manager and his tactics? Because it's like nothing's really changed, Steve. It was dull, negative, boring football under Southgate, and it's the same now. So was it Southgate, or is it the fact that the players ain't as good as what people think they are? Because I know what I think.
Could it be both?
It's a mixture of both.
Yeah. Tuchel is wearing a white waistcoat tonight. Yeah. Yeah, he plays like him, Southgate. Yeah. Fucking hell.
Honestly, Steve, I think it's a mixture of both. I don't think the players are all that, and I think that the manager, it's in better days. He had a peak about 3 years ago.
Yeah, I know. Well, he's there for the money, I think. That's what I reckon.
I just think
shit about England.
Mate, he's finished as a manager.
Yeah. He don't give a fuck about England because he's German. Why would he give a shit about us? What we do? Winning us a World Cup. He don't care.
He's interested in his career, Steve. Right.
Sorry?
I can guarantee you, if a top club in Germany came knocking for him and offered him a decent contract, he'd be off.
Yeah.
Or any, for that
Man
matter,
United
any
were
top
interested.
club in Europe
Man
came
United were interested, weren't
in.
they? Man United were interested in him, weren't they?
Yeah, well, I doubt they
That's
would be now.
why they've got him on a new deal, Warren. Stop him going to Man United. That's why. That's why they've extended his
Yeah,
contract.
but they won't stop him, because if Man United come in and offer him a decent amount of money, he'll still go.
Yeah.
It's just that they'll have to pay more in the way of compensation. So, do you know what I mean? So it won't stop United if they think he is the man. I don't think he is. I do hope they do come in and get him, because I think he'll take them down.
Yeah. He dodged a huge bullet. Yeah. You're probably right, Steph. Yeah, he did, I think, with not getting him. But you could have also had Southgate. You see that? Man United was after him, weren't they?
If they were serious, they'd go and get. If Man United were serious, if I was them, I'd go and get the Italian guy who was at Tottenham.
Conte. Yeah.
Yeah, because he's he's a proven winner. Every single club he's gone to, he's won a trophy except for Spurs. Because that club is a bloody basket case of a club. Everything he said in that rant he had in that press conference was 100% correct about that club.
You were after Frank. Yeah, well, you can still get him now. He's not in a job. Well, he might be in a Crystal Palace job, I've heard. He might be getting in Crystal Palace, Thomas Frank. His new manager.
Well, because they wanted the Crystal Palace manager as well, didn't they, United?
Yeah,
the problem is that that's another, it's a basket case of a club. Manchester United, it's a mess. I just don't see any top manager going in there, Steve.
No.
Because there's stuff going on around the club and above the manager that needs to be fixed first. Because otherwise, when the guy goes in there, it's just going to be firefighting all the time.
Yeah. Well, I thought Carrick's doing a good job at United. Why get rid of him anyway? He's doing well there. Got him up to what, fourth? From where they were.
You're waiting to happen, isn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, where they were under that Amorim, I mean, he was a disaster, wasn't he? So,
but he was starting to turn it round, Steve. It was starting to work. I don't understand the logic behind that. It just made no sense to me. But nothing that club does makes any sense.
No, I know. I mean, we talk about putting players out. It was like they said Ferguson used to do that, pull the players out. The international,
Yeah, but it needs looking into, because you can't do that. If a player gets called up for international duty, you have to release them. You can't stop them going on in international duty.
Yeah, I know. I think somebody was saying the other day it's down to the players themselves to pull out. It's not another manager.
If it's down to an injury, they have to be. I think the country has the right to then get them tested. Steve, I'm really sorry, mate, but I'm going to have to go, my friend.
Yeah, that's all right, man. Don't worry about it. It's cool. Thanks for coming on again, mate. Anyway, do you want to put your link in and for people?
Not yet. I've got something urgent I need to deal with. Okay. Sorry, mate.
Oh, you got to go. Oh, okay, mate.
Yeah. No all right, mate. Listen, I'll speak to you soon. All right.
Yeah. All right. Cheers, Warren.
Thanks very much for letting me come on, Steve.
No worries, man. You
cheers, buddy. You take care. Thanks a lot, Steve. Bye.
Cheers, Warren. Take care, mate. Bye. Cheers. He obviously needs to go urgently. So anyway, I'll try and put his link into his channel in a little while, guys, and go and check him out. Great channel, Warren's Team Talk. So go and check that out. But anyway, let's go through a few of these other comments because I haven't seen them all. By the way, Harry Wilson is Welsh, Daniel. So that's why he won't play for England, unfortunately. So we can't have him. He always scores against Brentford anyway, so I hate him. I hate the bloke, to be honest. Always scores against us, mate. So, bro, so, let's see. If anyone wants to give their predictions for tonight, I know Daniel said 2-1 England. Yugoslavia have always had great footballers, yeah. That's right, Steph, you're right there. They have always had great footballers, Yugoslavia. What's that one? Oh, Glasner. Anchor is holding United back. Yeah. Oh, Glazer. Sorry, Glasner. Glazer. Yeah. That's true. You still got the Glazers, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the Glazers, they're bloody wankers, aren't they? As I say, Daniel, as well, sorry about that with your son. Hope he's okay. Is he not watching now or what? Because I try not to swear anymore. But I mean, speaking for Warren as well, he's one that swears quite a bit. He probably swears more than I do, to be honest. So if you are offended by swearing, it's best not to be watching this. But I always try to do, good content still, whatever. Even if I'm swearing, I try and make it good, good stuff to watch and, have some people in at times, guests like Warren and some other people whenever they can come on. But, swearing will happen on these streams, I'm afraid. So it might be best if your son doesn't watch, but because he's too young, obviously 5 at the moment. Obviously later on when he gets older, it'll be okay. Right. What was it I was trying to look for? Did you say it was his birthday? Yeah, his birthday on Friday, yeah. Many happy returns to him for Friday, to your son. Is it James, yeah? Your son James, yeah. Hope he has a good birthday, he enjoys himself. I'm sure you're buying quite a bit of stuff. Does he sport bees as well? Do you buy him all the football stuff? Swearing is better than singing. Yeah, yeah. I haven't done that today, Steph. I haven't been singing, so I couldn't help that the other day. Some of that was your fault. Sorry, Steph, to say that, but you kind of got me doing that in the end. And no, it's not really your fault. But anyway, I thought I couldn't help that because like mentioning like Mysterious Girl and that sort of thing, and all that stuff, Return of the Mac and all that. I couldn't help singing that because, I loved all those songs. So, but anyway, if anyone wants to put their predictions in for the game tonight, what you think might happen, before I go, because I'm going to go very soon now. I think myself, it is a tough one. I think Japan are a good team. I'd like to see a high-scoring game, though. I'd love to see a lot of goals. I might go I'm going to go 3-2 England for this, yeah. I mean, we've got Harry Kane back and everything. He'll be playing. We should get some goals tonight, I think. I think there will be goals. We'll have the lights in, obviously, Anderson back in midfield. Probably Gordon on the wing. Probably maybe Cole Palmer. obviously there's chances for other players because of Saka and all that being out. Rice won't be playing; they're all pulled out. Madueke all out. So I think there'll be a good chance for some others to do well tonight. So I think there should hopefully be a few goals. Yeah, I'm going 3-2 England. 2-1 England win. Yeah, 2-1. Right. From Steph. Right. Yeah, so yeah, 2-1. As I say, I am going 3-2. I just hope there will be a few goals. I hope it's more entertaining because the Uruguay one was dull, boring, useless. Got to go again too, buddy. Maybe see you tonight. If it's streaming, yeah, I might be Steph. Well, I might do a watch along for the match. I'm not totally sure yet. Maybe thinking about it possibly. So I'll let people know by maybe around 6 if I'm definitely going to do it. I'll let people know then. I'll put a post out or just put the fun now out and stuff to advertise it. So yeah. So maybe there will be a watch along later, guys. So you never know. Anyway, follow me on Insta at Mr. B for Life 182 and subscribe to Mr. B Hive Football Chat. Please smash those likes. Keep subbing if you're new. I went down to 223. I don't know what I am on now on subs. Hopefully, I haven't lost any more, but hopefully not. Anyway, I'm just going to put Warren's team talk thing in here, the link, and then I'm going to bounce, guys. So hold on a minute. I'll just quickly do that. There we go. I think that's gone in there okay. Yeah, that's it at Warren's Team Talk. Click the link on there. Yeah, you should be able to get to that, although I think that might be the Insta. So if you have to go to www.youtube.com at Warren's Team Talk. So yeah, but that is pretty much the address anyway. It's on Insta and all that, YouTube. So go and check him out. Anyway, guys, I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to bounce, and thanks for watching. Everyone in the live chat, it's been another good one. I've gone on way too long. It's 3 hours 44, but it's been good. I've enjoyed it, and thanks to everyone watching. Thanks to Warren for coming on again. I hope you liked it, watched it live or on playback. But I'm going to bounce. I'm bloody ain't Marvin, so I'm going to get something to eat, guys. And maybe if I'm doing a watch along, you'll see it later, hopefully. Check it out later. If I do the watch along for the England game. Anyway, cheers, guys. I'm going for now. Thanks to everyone. And until the next one, I'm out of here. Cheers, guys. Thanks.